2, 1.
All right, everybody, we are back with Moonblazewolf, who is about to show us the wonderful, wonderful game of Bug Fables. I will turn it over to you.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Yeah, we are here with Bug Game. We're going to be playing Bug Fables tonight. We're going to be playing any % Glitchless. This game has two main categories, any % and the Glitchless category. Don't let the name fool you. The Glitchless category is still a lot of fun. We do some really cool stuff, and the best thing about the Glitchless category, in my opinion, is movement. We get really cool movement in this category, and that is even amplified by the fact that we are playing on a brand new version update, which has been out for about 2 weeks now, I think, version 1.1. The biggest thing about version 1.1 is we have the dash for most of the run, so we'll be seeing that later on. So if you've seen this game before, if you play this game casually, or if you've seen speedruns of it before, this game has changed dramatically just even in the last couple weeks. So let's get ready. I'm really excited for this run, and I'm going to introduce my two co-commentators. We've got Danny, who basically has written the book on any % Glitchless and maintains all of our guides. In addition to being, I believe, second on the leaderboards currently for the category.
Yep.
And then we also have the Calculus Kid, aka Calc, who is the current world record holder and is also extremely good at this game. So,
hey everybody.
Since he's the world record holder, that goes without saying. So.
Yep. But yeah, me and Calc are going to be giving the majority of the commentary here. Moon's going to be sitting back, actually playing the game. So let's hope for a good run.
Yeah, it should be good. I just got a brand new PB yesterday, so I'm excited. And we have something else that's exciting that we'll talk about later in the run that was just found within the last 24 hours. So, Calc, anything to say before we get started?
No, not really.
All right. Yeah, this is like a Paper Mario clone action RPG. So, but yeah, it's a cozy run. We got some donation incentives as well. One of them was already met. The other one is to fight an optional boss, the Seedling King. Those will both be at the end of the run. So, you know, we got plenty of time to get the donations in, but let's not wait. I'm just going to go ahead and throw down the gauntlet, give a challenge to everybody right now. I think we can hit 3,000 by the end of this run, and I would like all of you to help make that happen. So let's have a good run. Let's have some fun. It's the finale, so, you know, it's been a great weekend of speedruns, and let's finish it off on a high note. So, Gambit, I think before I get started, we have a file name bid war. Can I get the winner for that, please?
Sure, let me do one last refresh, and the winner is Bowser, capital BOWSER.
All right, good choice. I was watching a little bit of Mario Kart before this started with Mr. Shasta, so awesome run there. And yeah, I think we are about ready to go. Time is going to start when I hit OK on this screen. So I'm assuming we are ready on time, and I'm just going to do a countdown. So here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, and welcome to the world of Bug Fables, everybody. I'm going to let Danny and Calc handle most of the commentary, like I said. So I'll let them kind of talk about the battle system, the lore, the world, all of that stuff.
So far, when it comes to story and everything, it's a pretty simple story. We are a adventuring team looking to find the everlasting sapling. In order to do that, we need to find artifacts scattered throughout the land, and they're in dungeons. The battle system is pretty similar to the Paper Mario series. You'll see some basic things like attacking with timed attacks, timed blocking, and use of a TP system, teamwork points.
Yep. And we got a little tutorial battle here.
One thing I want to point out here is he is able to advance through text by holding the B button. Or at least it's B for the Nintendo Switch controller. It varies based on the controller you have. But basically, if you hold this, it advances through text the fastest way possible. So rather than needing to hurt your wrists while trying to mash A to get through text, like in a lot of other RPG games, we're able to hold B and advance through it very nicely.
Yep.
And what we're doing right now is just failing attacks to get through the tutorial real quick.
yeah, this is basically all we can do. This is a scripted fight. We cannot win this.
Yep. So it's just kind of 3 turns. You learn about the timed block system. Each of the attacks, whether they're the basic attacks or the special attacks, also have their own mechanics. There is kind of some overlap between some of them, but for the most part, all of the different attacks are unique in some way or another. So that's another thing that just kind of really adds to the depth of this game, I would say. All right, and we are off on our first quest. I finally have my movement controls, and I'm gonna do the first thing I'm gonna do is talk about, or I'm gonna come up here and get this hard mode medal. Does one of you want to talk about the hard mode medal and how we're gonna use that in the run?
You can do it, Cal.
All right. So right at the beginning, we grab the hard mode medal, and what this does is it makes it so you can put it on for the cost of 0 medal points, and we'll talk about medal points later on. And what this does is it increases enemies' stats, such as their HP, their defense, and their attack power. And you might think to yourself, well, why the heck would we want something like this? Won't this just make fights harder? But as it turns out, there is one very specific instance where a fight goes from being 7 or 8 turns. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think it's 7 or 8.
It's 8 turns on normal.
Okay, so even longer than 7 to 4 turns if you have the hard mode medal equipped. And this will happen later on in Chapter 2, and it saves about a minute or so, minus the amount of time it takes for you to grab the materials, but overall, it's a huge time save.
It's also just more consistent, generally.
Yeah, this is also true. The fight does become a little harder, but if you can time your blocks, which can be hard at times, a lot, but if you can do it and get consistent with it, then it's pretty much always going to be a guaranteed win.
And here we are. We have the first dungeon here, Snake Mouth Den.
Yep. And I'm just going to pick up this first crystal berry. We're going to have a couple sort of like alternate means of obtaining items throughout the game. One is crystal berries, the other is discoveries. We're going to get both of those in the first little bit here, so... but I don't want to interrupt things because I'm going to do the first little skip of the game right here, hopefully. Got it?
Hey, and you did it. So what he did there was he skipped the cutscene to introduce V's Beamerang, similar to how we talked to Chuck, the old bug that we saw before, teaching Kabu's horn attack. We can actually skip V's Beamerang tutorial by just jumping around the trigger here.
Yep, and that is something new in 1.1 because you actually start with the Beamerang right from the very beginning, whereas like you kind of discover it. There's another little thing, maybe? Oh, I think I got it.
Hey,
yep.
You did it. So what he did right there was called an ability jump. What you do there is very simple. You press the ability button, and then you jump. It seems easy, but later on the run, it gets a little bit more tricky, but it's pretty simple. You can even do it for yourself if you have the game right now on a controller. What you do is for, say, Xbox, because that's what I use, you slide your thumb between the B and the A button, and whichever character you have will jump and then do their ability.
Yep. And those are like the 2 major tricks of Chapter 1, and I just got both of them first try, so I'm pretty excited about that. I mean, those are pretty minor skips or little tricks in the grand scheme of things, but both of them probably save about, 3 to 5 seconds each, I would say.
Yeah, it really shows just how optimized we have at least the beginning dungeon.
Yeah, I have to say, since I started running this game, I've probably been running this game for about 4 months or so now. I mean, Danny, you've probably revised the route 6 or 7 times, but this game has just come so far recently. The community is incredible for this game.
Yeah, I took hold of the glitchless routing when it was on version 1.3, and I've made 1.4, 1.5, a kind of a mix I like to call 1.6, but it never really got released. And it come 1.1 because I didn't want to name it 1.6 officially. We just called it 2.0. So I've made a total of 4 routes.
And there's even version 2.1 in the works.
Yep. We aren't showcasing 2.1 because it has a lot of different difficult tricks. But come next marathon, who knows, you might actually see us to 2.1.
Yeah, it looks pretty promising, I have to say. But it basically came out about, I want to say Friday, and it was just, I didn't have time to practice and test it.
Yeah, it was very recent.
Yeah. Well,
And
that's
it's
what
still
happens
being
when a
optimized.
version. That's what happens when a game has like a groundbreaking version update this close to a marathon run. But y'all have just done such an incredible job getting on top of this stuff, and like I said, the community is just so incredible, so active, and there's so many people that have kind of contributed bits and pieces to make this run what it is, and it just keeps getting better too. So.
And I will go back to the actual gameplay right here. What we did right here is just saved our friend Leaf, who was trapped in a spider web for who knows how long, actually. And he will be our third party member.
Eventually.
Yeah, in like 1 or 2 rooms.
Yeah. That was a gold split for me, by the way.
Ooh.
And like not even close.
World record?
I doubt that. I would love to get another PB tonight, though. But that is a question for about 2.5 hours from now. So there's so much little stuff in this run, and it's gonna really open up when we get to chapter 3. There's 7 chapters in the game. Chapter 1 is kind of like the tutorial chapter. So we're getting all the characters, we're learning all the basic mechanics of the game, different things like that. The game's gonna throw a couple puzzles at us, but they all have like alternate ways of being solved. As the game goes on, things will get more specific, more puzzly, more tricky, stuff like that. So.
And what he did there a room ago, when after that cutscene ended, he hit a yellow crystal. Ooh, not good.
I jinxed it. That's fine.
So he did hit a yellow crystal from a distance, and usually what that does is that it usually saves your game, but if you're a certain distance away from the crystal, it'll heal you, but it won't save, and that saves a little bit of time.
B, please. Oh my gosh. Whoa, okay. Now I'm just like, I'm trying to be too safe, and I'm not doing what I normally do, so. I'm just trying to hit that switch right there. There we go.
Trick right here.
There we go.
Finicky. What he was trying to do there was hit the switch and fall in the water at the same time, and if you do this, you do respawn back towards the middle platform, which saves, again, kind of similar to the first tricks, about 3 seconds or so.
Yeah. This is why we don't talk about PBs and world records and stuff in a marathon run, so. It's all good. So this is another semi-tutorial fight, and we're going to get introduced to our third-party member Leif here, but we're also going to learn about probably, in my opinion, the most important battle mechanic in the entire run, which is turn relay.
This game wouldn't be as good without turn relay.
Yeah. So if you guys want to kind of explain how that works.
Cal, you're our battle master.
Okay, so turn relay is something that all characters have the ability to do, and it is where you're able to pass off one character's turn to another character to allow them to attack twice. Now, you can only do this once per turn with a particular character, which I don't know if it actually affects the run anymore, but it used to, a little. But that probably won't matter too much now, I think, because of dash, it doesn't matter. But by doing this, you're able to give another character a turn and let them attack again. So right there, Leaf, in the previous battle, Leaf did the Ice Fall twice because B passed her turn. But the downside to this is that each attack that one character does after being relayed to does 1 less damage. So there is a bit of a downside, but later on, when we begin buffing up, we basically buff up B or buff up the B, and she starts plowing through everything, so the 1 attack deficit doesn't really matter too much later on.
Yeah, there's more variety, I would say, in the battles now in 1.1 also, which is really nice. I think everybody kind of gets their time to shine. But mainly
definitely.
V, for sure.
Yeah, V kind of takes over in late game, but in early game, or for some like mini bosses, Leaf and Kabu do get their turn.
Hey.
That was really nice. And also something that we didn't talk about before. Sorry, Moon.
Oh, no, you're fine. Keep going.
Yeah. Leaf can freeze water droplets, as I saw in the tutorial there, and you can use that for platforming. And as you can see here, he also freezes the geysers, and it creates platforms for us. Puzzle solving.
I got a really good cycle on that water spout, too, and I wasted it.
Is it cool if I sneak in with a couple donations real fast?
Absolutely.
Alright, I've got $10 from Diamond Crafter 8. It says 2.5k height. Let's keep pushing to 3k. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to watch much of this marathon, but what I have seen is awesome. GG to everyone who ran so far, and good luck to Moonblazewolf on the Bugs Fable run.
Thank you.
I've also got $20 from Mr. Shasta, saying $5 for every mission I failed in my run. Let's get to 3k. Also, Comfy Bug Game looks really good. You, the person hearing this, you should really play this game.
Agreed. Ah, come on. That's fine.
What I tried to do right there is ability jump to hit the switch a little bit sooner than we usually could.
It's similar to the jump that Kabu did earlier, where I was able to mid-air header the thing.
Throw the beamerang in mid-air.
Yeah, throwing the beamerang in mid-air has some pretty specific and special uses in the run because you get extra height, and then you can grab stuff that you maybe weren't necessarily able to do.
Yeah, we'll see that a lot later on, especially in Chapter 2.
Yep. Alright, so I've successfully solved the two kind of puzzle rooms here, and we've opened the way to the first boss. Just to introduce the cast a little bit as well, I'm not sure everybody got properly introduced. We've got V the Bee. We have... Oh, shoot. I got caught on the edge of that
Jelly
mushroom.
Shroom.
Oh, yeah.
We have Jelly Shroom. I got caught on the edge of that mushroom. That was bad luck. That's how fleeing works, by the way. I was hoping not to have to talk about that for a while, but you lose berries when you run away, which is kind of like your currency in the game. It's not a huge deal, but I don't want to get into any encounters except for a couple of really specific ones over the course of the run, so...
And it's not too big of a deal if he does get into some encounters. The way we routed this is that there's a lot of berry backups in case you do get into an encounter. So just one or two won't kill the run, thankfully.
Yeah, there's a couple spots where it's kind of awkward, but that's not... that's fine.
Yeah, it's no big deal. But we got our first artifact, the Ancient Mask.
Yeah.
And just like Indiana Jones, we triggered a trap.
Yeah. Now, why are we looking for artifacts?
We need these artifacts to locate the everlasting sapling wherever it may be in the world.
And why is there a giant scary spider guarding this one?
He just wants to fight us.
Yeah, he's just kind of a...
Yeah, he's mad. He's mad that we saved Leaf.
Yeah,
He
we
wants
took
his food back.
We stole his dinner, yeah. Alright. This is kind of a longer battle, but it's fairly... It's totally safe. Hoping for some good RNG after these first 3 turns, so...
Yeah, this fight is the first instance where there is a fair amount of RNG. You can probably lose about 20 seconds or so from when comparing the worst RNG to the best RNG, based on how many freezes you get for these ice falls, which will happen later on.
Yep. Most of the boss fights in this run are broken up into phases, so this is kind of like phase 1, and now we're going to phase 2 when he calls his friends. Oh, I get to double mash. Y'all can talk about double mashing a little bit if you want.
Okay, I'll do it then. So basically what we do is we mash the button on the controller and we mash a button on the keyboard simultaneously, and that counts as 2 inputs. So what we do is just keep mashing and then it fills the bar up twice as much. No freezes.
Still got 1 shot at it.
Yeah. So what he wants to do here for the best RNG is to freeze Spider, or Spooter. Yeah, so that way we can save a turn.
Hey!
Which he did.
Nice.
And there we go. And that actually kills him.
That's a 5 turn. If you get 0 freezes, then this fight goes on for an extra turn, making it a 6 turn. But if you freeze on either the first or third ice fall, your attack will do 1 more damage, and thus you'll be able to kill him. And also, I don't think we mentioned exactly what happened if you freeze an enemy. So what happens is if you freeze an enemy and it's their turn to attack, they'll skip their turn altogether, which will save a little bit of time due to skipping some animations. Or you can attack them while they're frozen, and your attack will do 1 more damage.
Both are nice. Both have their uses. So we're just going to kind of gather up the artifact here and head back to the Anthill, the Ant Kingdom. So Gambit, if there's any donations or announcements, this would probably be a good time for those.
No donations at this point. We are still $20 short of meeting the Seedling King goal for later on in this run. Still got plenty of time to hit it. And again, as I said, we want to see we can hit that 3K before the end of this run. We're only $430 away. Let's go ahead and do this.
Yep. The Seedling King, for those who don't know, this isn't something I've offered in a marathon run before, but it's an optional super boss that you fight at the end of the run, and I picked the Seedling King because it is the silliest looking one of the 5. So you definitely want to see it.
So now we're just showing the people in charge of the association that we could do it. We can get artifacts that they couldn't do before for a long, long time.
Didn't seem that hard, I don't know.
And now we have him following us because we need to go see the Ant Queen. So now we're going through a stroll through the Ant Kingdom.
This is kind of like our main hub in town. There's a couple towns throughout the course of the game that we'll be going through. But this is where we'll always go between chapters, pretty much.
Yeah, whether it be to stock up on items, do other side quest related things here. And here's Maki, again.
Maki's kind of like the Queen's
The
guard.
Queen's Blade.
Yes, the Queen's Blade, there you go.
Fancy term of saying he's the basically top tier adventurer.
Yep.
And here we are entering the Ant Queen's chambers.
Yep. There's not too much to do here other than just make sure I pick the correct dialogue options and things like that. Most of the chapters have like a cutscene in between. So it's a good time to catch a breather, move your notes, all that kind of stuff. So.
Mm-hmm.
This one you actually. Yeah, go ahead.
I've got $10 from Aldario5, who says, "Hey everyone, and hi to the Bug Fables speedrunning community. Really happy to see this game evolve for a year, and I really enjoyed my time during that year. Here's on to another year of Bug Fables awesomeness."
Yes.
Yes.
Ald is a really great member of the community and also one of the beta testers on the game developer side.
1.1.
Yep.
The 1.1 update.
Yep.
He's also the reason why I got delayed for a couple months.
This is also true.
But for good reasons, of course. Something I can mention right here, that we haven't really done too many things. I should just mention it, though. Having a certain bug out in different cutscenes can actually make us go closer to our destination. So right there in the Ant Queen's cutscene and that cutscene leaving it, Leaf was in the prime position both times that we wanted him. And that can save a lot of time throughout the run, just having the right bug in front.
Swapping characters while I'm walking, like I'm doing right now, doesn't take any time. But when you get into certain cutscenes, like Danny was just saying, it matters where you kind of like exit the cutscene from.
So back there, he walked into the library, and this is where he turned in the discoveries, which you basically get. Some of them you get just by walking normally and just completing the game normally, you'll just get them. But others, you need to actually go out of your way to get some. And right there, every time you get 5, something divisible by 5, right there we had 5, you get a reward. And right there, he got 20 berries, and we will use those to help fill up our inventory for Chapter 2.
Yep. Found another crystal berry. I'm gonna need to just a little number to keep in mind. I'm gonna need to get 15 crystal berries and 15 discoveries throughout the run. The discoveries you won't always see because sometimes you get them automatically for doing story things. But the crystal berries, you'll see me pick up all 15 of them.
And you just picked up a bad book, which that's for a quest later on. It gives us a lot of berries for just giving the book to him.
Yeah, I think it's 35.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Times 2, because we're gonna get 2 bad books over the course of the run.
Yes, we are.
Oh yeah.
We have to rid the world of bad fan fiction.
And here's one of the 3 chefs, 4 really. Basically, what they do is they cook us food. We use these guys a lot throughout the run. You wouldn't think cooking would be, fast, but the effects that they give us are really powerful. And in the 1.1 update, we'll see this later on, but before, all cooking speeds used to be what that was just now with fry. But in this update, next time we cook something, we can speed up the animation by 3 times, which saves a lot of time for cooking.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really nice that they added that because we do a fair bit, and a lot of the times it can get pretty lengthy.
I bought the right berries that time.
I'm so proud of you.
I know.
Let's go.
Yep. Menuing and shopping, the hardest things for any RPG speedrunner.
So right there, he bought 2 spicy berries and 2 burly berries. So what a spicy berry does is you can use it on any ally, and it'll increase their attack by 1 for 2 turns. And a burly berry does the same as spicy berry, although instead of increasing your attack, it increases your defense.
Well,
And
I wouldn't
normally
know
the
that because I've never actually used a burly berry in this game.
Really?
Yeah, we don't use burly berries in the run, but we do use burly berries for cooking, and that'll happen later on in Chapter 2, so I won't spoil exactly what it does as of now, but it is very useful.
And we're doing a nice fall here for the freeze chance. Didn't seem to hit, though.
Yeah, the chance of freezing is 50%, and all it really does there is just skip his attack, so it's not a huge deal.
Okay, yeah, I've been corrected. It's 2.5 times increase, not 3.
I've had the worst freeze luck on 1.1. So at least it's consistent.
That's true.
Yeah.
Although I don't think that's a good thing.
It's a few seconds. Yeah, we're off on our second quest here. We're headed to the second town called the Golden Settlement. We're gonna see some different kind of looking platforming on the way, and some different puzzles and stuff. So, game really kind of starts to open up, I would say, in Chapter 2 now.
As much as I like variety, I'm sure every speedrunner in this game can say Chapter 2 has to be the worst chapter for platforming.
I agree.
Yeah, which is sad because it's such a really good chapter. You know, the music's great, the visuals are amazing, the story that takes place within the chapter is amazing. It's just that the platforming is really annoying to get perfect, because sometimes we need to hit good cycles for certain things. So we're gonna hope we get that. But if we don't, that's Chapter 2 for you.
Yep.
I will say that casually, Chapter 2 was probably my favorite, but in the speedrun, in my opinion, it's the hardest. And usually most other glitchless speedrunners tend to agree, either that or Chapter 3 tends to be the most popular for hardest. Oh no.
Speaking of RNG, I swear, these switches just do not like to cooperate sometimes.
It do be like that.
Anyway. I even got up on the railing to try to get some extra height, but it was not meant to be. Anyway, if that's the worst thing that happens to me in Chapter 2, this will be just fine.
Yeah, I would be happy if that were the case. The good news is that in this game you are able to fall and you won't take damage, such as in Paper Mario, where if you fall in the overworld of that game, you usually take 1 damage. But here, you take 0 damage, you just get sent back to the start.
Alright, and we've arrived.
Yeah, welcome to the second town of the game, the Golden Settlement.
We're here just in time for a party.
Yes, the Golden Festival, where we eat, laugh, and drink to our heart's content.
And
for
whack
Venus.
worms.
Yeah, and whack worms.
I'm gonna make a donation based on that, so I'm kind of excited for Whack-A-Worm tonight.
What's your prediction?
I got 33 in my last marathon run, so I want to do more than 30. I want to whack more than 33 worms. Here's hoping.
Seems fair. You'll see here, while we do cooking, you'll see the animation being sped up.
And this is where we cook the burly berries we mentioned, and these make things called burly bombs. And what these do is you're able to throw them at an enemy, and it does 3 damage, I think. I think it's 3.
4.
3 or 4, yeah, somewhere around there. And it also lowers an enemy's defense for 2 turns. So it's very useful later on, especially for this chapter's boss.
Yeah, we use those quite a while. There's a medal we get later on that kind of takes the place of burly bombs, but in the short term, burly bombs are pretty great.
So our goal here in the Golden Festival is to collect 2 things that will grant us access to the Golden Hills and to meet the goddess Venus herself.
Other discovery here, by the way.
Yep. But
If you
before
ever
we
see
do
me
that,
talking to a random NPC, it's because I'm getting a discovery.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
you'll
can
know
tell you
that-
get discovery because it says logbook
Yep.
updated in the bottom left.
Yeah, true.
Eating competition.
Yeah. I don't think we got a chance. Did we talk about double mashing before? Because this
We
would be
did.
the other time.
We talked
Okay.
about it in the battle.
Okay.
So what he's doing right now is he's going to be double mashing the whole way through this.
I feel bad for my competition. They have no chance.
Zasp already gave up.
Yep. Zasp looked over. He's like, nope. Gonna save my stomach for another day.
Yep. And we got one of the 2 offerings needed.
Leaf eats the leaves, yes. And I gotta talk to this NPC again and get this medal, because if I don't get it now, I won't be able to, and it's one of the most important medals in the game.
Oh, weak stomach. You've ruined many a run.
Alright, and
So basically,
Explain what it does, Danny.
okay, I was just gonna say, weak stomach real quick. What it does is that every time you eat an item with it equipped, the bug that gets the food item will be poisoned, and we use poison strats later on.
I'm really off to a bad start here. Okay, so Whack-A-Worm, just really quick. This is the second minigame, so it's kind of like the eating minigame. I have a minute to whack as many worms as I can. Normally, you only have to get 15, so when we're doing the speedrun, we'll usually stop after 15 and just kind of take a water break and stuff like that. But I'm going to donate $1 for every worm I whack, so I'm really going for a high score here. And the worms are being kind of rude so far. I don't think I'm going to get 33.
You only need 15 to clear it, but sometimes you can just do it for fun.
Sometimes you just want to swag whack.
Yeah.
I'll take my water break.
Oh, come on. Okay,
29?
I think it gave me 20.
Hey.
I think it gave me 29 there right at the very
Yeah, I
end.
think
Yes, that was 29.
All right, so I'll donate $29 after the run. More importantly, we got the second offering.
And we also get a new addition to the Beamerang ability, where now we are able to hold the Beamerang in place.
And we also learned that the Beamerang is actually stolen. But that's besides the point.
The less we know about that, the better.
Yeah. She's
I
a
think
good person.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna say she's a good person. She didn't mean to buy stolen stuff.
Yeah, she's an innocent bystander.
I will mention, because you did throw your Beamerang in there, that's actually something they fixed in 1.1.
Yeah.
So, is that just force a habit right there?
I'm not sure.
Ah, okay.
I'm gonna make sure I get through this battle, because this battle also changed, and it still throws me off every once in a while. Because it's actually easier now. It's more scripted, but like, it doesn't feel right to me, if that makes sense.
It's just less chance to get the defense up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually buffed Arya. Normally, if that first attack, she would fall off the vine. But it's kind of funny that the buff actually is faster, because the animation for her falling off the vine took a really long time. So it actually makes the fight a tad faster. Oh, and there's the defense up. We do not like to do that.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just gonna make the... Usually, there's a couple really scary fights where if I get bad RNG, I can actually lose the fight, but most of the time it's just like, oh, well, that's annoying because it's gonna take me longer now. Mostly due to ability animations and stuff like that.
I should mention, because we got the halt ability, we now have access to Hurricane Toss, and what that is that it's essentially a Tornado Toss, 4-hit move, and instead of just, 4 hits, in addition to 2 more TP, it pierces 1 defense. So we're able to do the same amount of damage as we would with a Tornado Toss right here, just with a Hurricane Toss.
Yep. One of the things I absolutely love about this game and how they designed it is there's these linkages between the field abilities that I do when I'm like platforming and stuff and the battle abilities that I do in combat as well. So like Hurricane Toss is tied to that hovering beamerang basically. And I just think stuff like that's really clever. I play a lot of RPGs, and so many RPGs it's like, okay, well when you get level 10, you get this ability. And it's like, there's no reason why you get it other than you just got enough experience points. So the idea that you get abilities related to the story and then they're like useful in all these different ways is very cool to me.
Yeah. That's not to say that we don't actually get abilities from level ups. We do get them from level ups, but the ones we use in the run are, for the most part, gained from field abilities.
This is kind of fun.
Yep, that's also a new thing in 1.1. Normally, that beamerang would just hit a wall, and it would clink right off. But in 1.1, thankfully, they made it so that way it'll just stay in place, and it won't just cause endless frustration.
Also, thankfully, I did not get a golden seedling. Oh, heck.
Yeah, this is true.
But I did mess that up.
So here he is doing some optional combat. You do not have to do this fight whatsoever. It's not required at all. But the reason we do it is so that way we can level up at specific points. Because when you level up on certain fights, you fully heal. And this will become very useful later on. So we do this one because it's some pretty quick EXP.
If you don't mess up your ice fall, it's very quick. I actually didn't know what to do because I don't think I've messed that up in months, so oh well.
Yeah, you just have to flip the acornling.
Also, #1 run killer in the run is picking up the wrong stuff when you or picking up the wrong stat when you level up. So I'm going to be like extremely careful when I'm leveling up not to hit the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Because there's no takebacks.
Yeah, or confirmation.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, we're gonna see a lot of screens like this, a lot of these like kind of crank puzzles, a lot of moving platforms and bridges and stuff like that.
And you can see that we're now using different abilities to do different puzzles. So now we're using a combination of freezing and hitting the blocks in order to get across different areas.
Okay, got it. That one's been giving me trouble for some reason lately. And we're gonna do our first kind of just a little mini sequence break with this ability jump here. If I can do it. There we go. You're supposed to have to bring an ice block over there in order to get that switch, but if you do an ability jump, you get the extra height needed to just snag it with the beamerang.
And the main goal of this dungeon is to collect 2 big halves of the main crank. You'll see us passing right by it, the slot that we have to put it in. We need to just collect the 2 halves, and then it'll turn to a big crank, and we just place it in there, and we get to go to the second part of the dungeon.
Yeah, but to access the areas that actually have the big cranks, we need to go to other areas to get the small cranks, which will then get to those areas. So there are basically 4 separate rooms we need to go through.
Basically a Zelda game, except it's cranks instead of keys.
And the platforming can be pain.
Yeah.
Thankfully, you didn't have too much trouble right there. But the hard part is yet to come.
There's many hard parts still to come.
You speak the truth. There's a second small crank that we need throughout this dungeon.
Oh. There's just like a ridiculous amount of optimizing movement in this game too, and like it's one thing just to like do the puzzles well, but also like to do them optimally. Like you can get something first try and still have it be slow relative to how fast somebody else could do it, so. And then like you throw your boomerang the wrong direction because analog stick.
It happens.
Oh yeah. Just wait till I'm dashing in 360 degrees in about 20 minutes.
I can't wait for that.
It's gonna be fun. I'm actually really excited. Alright, this is another required kind of like story fight, we'll say. We're gonna be seeing a lot of these, they're called the Venus Buds. But after this, they're gonna be helping us, which is nice.
And the easy way to kill them, because they're plants, they freeze instantly, or 100% chance to freeze. Then it slowly... Okay, I should have explained the whole freeze mechanic. I don't think you did too much calc with resistance building. Did you do that?
Oh yeah, I forgot about the resistance. After
Okay.
multiple.
So, if you're trying to freeze an enemy multiple times, the resistance of the enemy will build up. I don't remember how much it is off the top of my head. I want to say it's 15%.
I think it's 15, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it's 15% every time you freeze an enemy. So those buds had 100% chance to freeze, then it would be 85, and so on.
This is a really tricky crystal berry to get, so hopefully I'll get it first try.
Yeah, out of all the crystal berries we grabbed, this one's probably the most difficult.
I think this is the one Calc insisted on being in the run. Thanks, Calc. Hey, we got it.
It's fast.
It is fast, I'll give it that, but it's hard to learn. When you're learning the run, it's a
tricky
tricky
another
one.
runner of this game. He was the one who actually was the one who insisted in this being in the route. I was the one who insisted in that being in any percent because it is about 2 to 3 seconds faster than a different one we would normally grab.
I gotcha.
And now we're being interrupted.
Ah, these two.
Gotta love them.
If we were
Hey,
Pokemon
isn't that
trainers, these
one-
would be our Team Rocket.
Isn't that one red guy the guy who failed the eating competition?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Do you think he have learned our lesson? His lesson with after messing with us?
Nah. So this fight is pretty simple. Every time you attack Matava, the one in the back, Zas ends up getting charged. And basically what charge is that it's a temporary attack boost. Every time he attacks... Ooh, that's not good. But every time he attacks, that charge goes away. But until then, he has a +1 attack for the next attack. And what he did there to V is taunting. We have access to this with Kabu, where he can taunt enemies, and every enemy will attack him. The taunt version for us would be V cannot use skills or relay. She just has the basic attack, but she can basic attack anyone.
Let's see. I think this is right. Nope, that was wrong. Okay. Well, I just kind of burned a turn there, but it's fine.
Yeah, that'll kill.
Yeah. It's not a big deal. It's I'm bleeding time right now. This fight's pretty safe. Oh, it would help if I blocked though.
This
Yes,
fight
it will.
can be a little dangerous if he just focuses one of the allies. But usually if you super guard, then it's fine.
Yeah, I just need V to live one more turn, and I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yep.
Hey, perfect.
Hey, perfect.
Nice.
Now I like the
Now
taunts
we
because you don't do
actually want
anything.
taunt.
And I actually just want a basic attack anyway, so we're all everything's cool now.
Yep. Taunting is a
besties again,
blessing and a
Zaz.
curse.
Yep.
The taunt giveth, the taunt taketh away.
Yep.
I'm going to move Leif to the front for safety here, just because he has more hit points, and the front character is the one that is most likely to get attacked. Oh, wait, never mind. He was almost dead. All good. Okay, so that fight's kind of long and annoying, but there's not too much to it other than that. The next two fights I do are the two hardest fights in the game. And they're the fights where I'm most likely just to randomly die to a bad enemy pattern. So here's hoping that doesn't happen.
Yeah, and this is more of a downtime area. So I will say, in the next route that we're doing, that fight goes from a 6-turn to a 2-turn at the least. Otherwise, it would be a 3-turn. So things are looking pretty big for us. That was a long fight, and just cutting it down by so much is going to be huge for the speedrun.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Although we do lose a little bit of time because we do need to spend extra time cooking more items, but it's overall worth it because that fight takes a long time.
Yep. Even when it goes well, it takes a long time. Oh, heck. Okay, we're fine. I just dodged you. I dropped an input, which happens a lot in this game, and it always seems to happen at the worst times, but I was able to avoid that guy anyway. This is probably the worst room in Chapter 2.
Yep.
Especially
we named
after
this room
the
the
update.
cursed room.
And that's saying something given how hard Chapter 2 can be.
Yeah. So I have to go get that crank that's kind of hidden up there. And now for the reason why this room is so terrible. This guy. Oh, he's actually in a pretty good spot.
Not bad.
This is kind of like my safe strat. Oh. This is kind of like my safe strat with him now. I just freeze him and bonk him over there.
As long as we don't get into an encounter, that's fine.
In terms of like your berry routing, this is also kind of like the most sensitive time in the run, I would say, kind of early on like this. So
yeah,
the less encounters you can get, the better.
3. Going into Chapter 3, we need to have a certain amount of berries, otherwise we're gonna have to take a slower way of healing.
Yep.
So good thing you didn't get any encounters.
Agreed. All right, so I got to put my hard mode medal on.
I was about to ask if you did the equip.
Yep, I usually do it right before the save point. And then I normally don't save, but I'm safety saving a couple times, just in case.
All right, Calc.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll let you guys talk because I'm going to focus.
Yeah. All right, Calc, are you ready to explain everything involving defense penetration?
Oh boy.
All right. I'll let you take the floor now.
So this fight is the reason we grabbed hard mode at the start. This is the only fight we will use it on. So this fight normally, the boss has 62 HP and 0 defense. However, with hard mode on, it actually gets less HP, but 1 more defense, making it 51 HP and 1 defense. So normally, if the defense means you're just going to do 1 less damage. However, there's something called piercing defense. And Kabu, this is why we have Kabu up front doing first bit of this fight. That's a really good attack, by the way. So Kabu is able to pierce 1 point of defense with his basic attack, so he'll actually do 4 damage. But later on, we will use it. So basically, how it works is if an enemy has defense, and you lower their defense while piercing defense, there's a lot of defense going on with this, it's kind of a tongue twister, then your attack will do 1 more damage. So right here, we're going to use 2 items, a spicy berry, so we increase V's attack, a burly bomb, when we cooked earlier in Festival, which will lower the defense, and hurricane toss to pierce the defense. And that allows us to do 10 damage, which is a lot. So for this next turn, we will do even more.
Oof, alright, we're good.
Nice.
I had to get this because it did defense up on the first turn, so if any of my characters had dropped, it probably would have been a refight.
Do the final attack with Kabu.
Kabu? Okay, I was going to do it with Leif, but I'll do it with Kabu. It seems safer.
Yeah, Kabu's better here, because he's also able to pierce the defense that Bigu gave.
I'm pretty sure you'd lose the fight if you did it with Leaf.
Okay, well then I'm glad I didn't do that.
I mean, I'm not fully sure on that, but I think Danny might be right.
I'm pretty
Kabu
sure
in
I'm
general
right.
is just more safe.
Okay, one scary fight down.
Only one scary fight to go, and it's the one we do right after this.
Yep. Yeah, there's so much variance in that Venus Guardian fight because at the end of the first turn, it can either do attack up, which is bad, defense up, which is bad, or nothing, which is good. It also has AoE attacks that it didn't do. I got a lot of perfect blocks that fight. I don't think I had a perfect that I had to get a perfect, but if you miss like a block completely, you're probably going to lose a character, and that's really, really bad in that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there he got defense up, and what that means is pretty much everyone has to survive for turn 4, or else you'll trigger the second phase, which, by the way, triggering the second phase is the reason we wanted to actually skip. We wanted to actually deal a bunch of damage for this fight. Because the second phase, Venus summons a Venus Bud, and it's a really slow fight. So by doing enough damage there, we're able to skip it. So if you get defense up, everyone has to live for turn 4 for you to do the required amount of damage to KO.
Yep.
But if you get attack up, or just nothing happens with buffs, you are allowed to have someone die, assuming it isn't V, and you'll still do barely enough damage.
Yeah. So that was a pretty tricky fight. I'm glad I got it through. I was a little bit scared on turn 3 there, but I got the blocks I needed, so we're good. That is the end of chapter 2. Better go report in. And this would be a great time for some donations and stuff.
That's what I was about to ask. I actually do have 2 donations. I have a $10 donation from Kupo Craft with no comment. And also a $10 one from Indy who says, "What a great marathon, everyone. And the cause is so important too. Thank you to every runner, staff, volunteer, and viewer." Heart.
Absolutely. Yeah, I grew up in the Twin Cities. I did a lot of hockey camps in White Bear Lake when I was a kid, so I definitely know a lot about the community, and I just imagine that all of the donations that everybody's been making this whole weekend are going to make a lot of families really happy, especially during the holidays when, food insecurity and food shortages are going to be amplified if people can't celebrate the holidays properly. So thank you so much, everybody who's been donating.
And for chapter 3, factory inspection, what that cutscene was about basically is that we need to go get the third artifact, which we know for a fact is inside the Bee Kingdom. But we don't go there quite yet. We have some side stuff we want to do before we head over there.
Yeah, we gotta go take down Monsieur Scarlet after we turn in a bad book. So I'm going to be doing side questy stuff for just a second here, and shopping, stuff like that. So I don't know if there's anything we kind of need to talk about before the Scarlet fight, or just kind of in general, because after this I'm going to have some pretty powerful stuff, plus I'm going to have the dash soon after, so the game's really going to kind of take off from there.
It's going to really take off, because there's a lot of
It's going to go like 3 times speed.
Yeah. Chapter 3 is where things really begin to speed up, fighting and combat-wise.
As for anything we should mention beforehand, I don't think there is too much besides like just prefacing why Scarlet is so bad as it is. What we're doing right here, though, is we have to talk to these guys, Levi and Celia. We saw them before at the Golden Festival and everything. They're trying to take on a bounty for Scarlet.
Yep.
As for Scarlet himself, he has a chance to do an AoE attack. And this AoE attack is worse than your usual AoE attack. His main gimmick is healing off the damage he does to you. So you can probably see why it's such a bad fight, is that if he does the AoE, he heals for, I think, 8 damage if normal blocked, and 3 if super blocked. So he really needs to super block if he gets it. If he doesn't, the fight is still winnable, but he just has to basic him until death.
Yeah. In general, the reason why this is such an RNG heavy fight is because almost all of Scarlet's attacks will heal for I think it's 60% or 66 or somewhere around there % of the damage he deals to you.
Basically, it's terrible because Scarlet's a vampire.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
that's what
Vampires are
TLDR.
generally very difficult enemies. All right, let's do this thing. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, and the basic strategy for Scarlet will just be spamming Tornado Toss when we can, just to keep on dealing damage.
And perfect blocking as much as
Yes.
humanly possible.
Thankfully, his attacks are pretty easy to telegraph because of the glint in his eye.
Yeah, so I'm going to be very, very focused on my blocks here.
Not bad for a first attack.
I'll take it. Yeah, whenever you see awesome, that is a perfect block.
Yeah, I should mention, perfect blocks is 4 frames after hitting the block button. So you basically have a 4-frame window between the attack hitting you and hitting the button.
That's another really good attack. Also, another thing, I should have probably pointed this out earlier, but Scarlet does have 2 phases, and in the second phase, he does an infinite attack up. So the reason we do the Spicy Berry later on, instead of earlier, is because if we do it earlier, we'll trigger the second phase sooner.
Okay, I didn't get that block, but I think I'm okay still. It might take 1 extra turn.
Yeah, it'll take 1 extra turn, but it still should be fine.
As long as he doesn't do the thing.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not
He's
even gonna say
do
it.
it.
I don't wanna invoke it.
Nice.
That's fine.
Alright, so this fight's gonna take a little bit longer than usual, but it's still winnable, assuming it doesn't happen.
Oh no. And I didn't block it. Heck. All right.
And it happened.
It happened. Let's see what I can do here. I'm gonna try to salvage it. To do some stuff I normally wouldn't do. Just to see if I can hold out here.
Yeah, this fight's a gunner.
Yeah.
At this point, pretty much Scarlet's...
Well, let's see what happens here.
That one attack, I don't know.
I got it.
Oh my god.
Let's go. 1 hit point left. Let's go.
Attack.
That was a mess, but we got there.
Yeah, that one attack there, the one with the waves, that is one of the... I think that's the only attack that deals damage that doesn't heal anything.
There's 2.
And then he can also do attack up, which also doesn't heal for anything.
Yep. Yeah, there's that one, and there's the one where he blows a kiss. Those don't suck any damage, but the rest of them all do, so... Oof.
That egg was a good sacrifice.
If it's close,
Yeah.
I like to give it a try. I mean, the
Just
worst thing that
remember to
happens
buy
is I have to
another one
redo the
later.
fight, so you might as well.
Yeah. It's only 2 berries.
Yep. I got 2 berries to spare right now. Or I got 4, actually. So we can
Hey,
spare
perfect.
2. Yep. But it does mean I'm not going to be able to do the really cool dash that I want to do. I think it's probably going to be a little too risky. We'll see. There's a dash in the Honeybee Factory that I've absolutely fallen in love with, but I don't know if I'm going to be feeling brave enough to do it, because if I screw it up, I won't be able to heal before a boss fight that I really need to heal for, so... We'll see, though. We'll cross that dash when we come to it.
And what we're doing right here is we're getting a free heal at the inn. This is originally a quest that we do where it gives you a free heal. Normally this would cost 9 berries, I think it is. To finish the quest, we have to talk to her, but we're bad people, so we just don't talk to her.
Yeah, we didn't leave her a Yelp review. I'm gonna go buy that other egg, replacement egg, before I forget. Because I had to come here anyway, because this is where the secret metal shop is. This is why we've been collecting all those crystal berries. Oh, hi.
Yeah, this is also the reason why we fought Scarlet in the first place. It unlocks us this metal shop, which is a shop that V, in events prior to the game, got mysteriously kicked out of and banned from. So we kind of had to pay our way back and do Scarlet as a way to sort of pay back, so that way we're allowed access again. So if only V wasn't so naughty, we wouldn't have to do Scarlet.
Yeah,
Yep. And that's also where she got her stolen beamerang from, given by the text saying that Shade stole her stolen stuff without her knowing, apparently.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning just how, like, genuinely funny this game is. I'm skipping through all of the text, obviously, but, like, if you play this game casually, just take the time to enjoy how funny this game is.
And it's a good price as well.
Yep, I think it's either $20 or $25, depending on what platform you get it on right now.
Yep. It's on sale somewhere, I don't remember where. But, like, it is honestly really fun to play casually.
Yep. And there's so much that you can do, like there's a 100% category of this game, and, well, I don't even know now with the new optional super boss, like super boss, but I know before the update it was like 9 hours or so, and that's to speedrun everything that you can do in the game.
Yeah. When it comes to said boss, I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
You don't need to actually beat them.
Oh, okay.
Yep, you just need a tattle and then either die, or I don't think you can flee, so yeah, just die, and the quest gets finished.
Okay.
Because the devs felt bad for anyone who couldn't beat it, so they just kind of gave you the quest complete.
It's pretty tough.
But we got a dash now.
Oh yeah, we got the zoomies.
We did not have this before 1.1, so I assume everyone who's never seen a speedrun of this game before in 1.0.5, we basically be back before we probably started this room by the time, by the time we did this in 1.0.5. So it's really quick.
Yeah, that all went really well.
And now we're getting ambushed.
And this is the first instance where we see why those medals that we grabbed from Scarlet, or in this case just metal, we only grabbed Poison Attacker, which increases your attack by 1 if you're poisoned. So combined with Weak Stomach, we basically just can use any item on Leaf that heals either HP or TP, and then Leaf will be poisoned and thus do 1 more damage. And here we really begin to see the power of that.
So good.
Mm-hmm. And also the fact that we can have a chance to freeze them every time we do it, it is a really, really good strategy.
I did that wrong. It's okay. It's okay. I'll just get all of my ice falls to hit everything. I don't think I've ever had ever had a fight where I've gotten all 3 of them with every ice fall. That is the hardest ice fall in the entire game.
It is satisfying to pull off, though. Even in the route,
It's really tough.
yeah,
Meaning to do it a fair amount of times it's really hard.
and
Anyway,
if anyone wants to
back to
learn
dashing.
the run, if anyone wants to learn the run for that ice fall, I actually have an image of where to hit it because it's so specific to hit that if you just saw a speedrun of the game, you would just think that we just hit the thief in the middle, but no, we actually hit like a corner of his sprite in order to hit all of them. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it wouldn't work.
If you hit the middle, you're not gonna miss the burglar at the front.
Yep. And then once the middle one dies, you still have to hit that spot, but there's no visual for it anymore.
Yeah, so it's just kind of blind guessing, but the more you get better at it, the easier it is.
All right, so now we're off to the honey factory here. This is going to be... Well, there's something important that happens, and then we'll get a bunch of cutscenes, but we're gonna find out a little bit about our friend Leif here in just a second. Because, you know, they have to protect the purity of the honey here, so we're gonna get scanned. Shoutouts to Kabu's panic animation, which is absolutely my favorite thing in this game, by the way.
He's really panicked.
Yes, he's a panicky boy.
I mean, who can blame him? There's just this giant wall that comes up and scans him. I'd be scared too.
And V just like eye rolls at it because V knows what's going on.
Yeah.
I see some love in the chat for the zoom sound, Kabu's new sound effects. Yeah, I hope y'all like that sound because you're going to be hearing it an awful lot for the rest of the run.
Thankfully, they made it a good sound.
Yes. All right. So basically, something picked up. Something in Leif got picked up on the scan, and there's something kind of like unnatural going on with Leif, but. The thing about it for us is it gives him this ability called Bubble Shield, which is really, really great in and out of battle.
And what we're doing here is we're just rounding up the explorers. So we got Jen and Eerie here. We have Zasp and Mothava, not as our enemies this time, as friends. We have them with us. And we also have Kina, I think, which is Maki's sister. But I don't think she's actually here. She was supposed to be here with us, but she isn't. And right there we restored our TP.
Yeah, it just happens all so fast now with the dash, but I just refilled my TP. At the Honey Fountain, we're talking to Mothava here, who is swarmed by her adoring fans. Zasp was off sulking behind this post. Which, by the way, you have to give this post kind of like a wide clearance or else V gets like completely stuck. Coming around the corner in this cutscene I've discovered. There we go. But Gambit, this would be a really good time for some donations, probably for about the next 2 minutes or so.
Well, I sadly don't have any donations left over. We did, however, meet the final goal for fighting the king.
All right.
So that's going to be a good thing. I do want to give a special thanks to the alternate language restreams. Midfall Speedball 2020 has been restreamed in French, Japanese by our friends over at Bagat Restream and a Japanese restream, respectively. You can find them at the French restream at twitch.tv/Bagat_restream and a Japanese restream at twitch.tv/Japanese_restream. We've worked with these streams before and are very thankful to have their support once again.
Absolutely, and we actually have a Japanese speedrunner of this game who I believe is watching on the Japanese restream, and I apologize, I'm like blanking on the name right now, but I know Danny or Calc was going to remember it. And just thank you to everybody who's out there watching and supporting not only the game, but the marathon.
Yeah, I don't remember their name off the top of my head, but they know who they are because they've been posting on Twitter.
Yep. They were hyping up the Japanese restream earlier today. It was exciting. All right, let's go.
True.
Let's go on a tour of the honey factory, shall we?
And code 32.
What's a code 32?
That's a code 32. Everything just shuts in on us. It's a
bad.
lockdown.
Yep, it's bad. Alright, well, we're here to get the artifact out of the machine, and we're not just gonna be able to, like, pick it up and walk out, unfortunately, so guess what? That means we just have some more adventuring to do. Oops. Do you want to explain what I just picked up?
Yeah, sure. So basically what the goal is of this dungeon is we need to collect key cards throughout the dungeon to unlock the way. Considering we're in a lockdown, we don't really have authorized access, so we need to go around and collect these cards. And what we learn right here is the bubble shield. Leif kind of just runs onto an electrical panel and shields himself in time. So now that he's learned how to do that by himself, he can now shield the entire team from damage. And this can be used to walk on hazards that we couldn't walk on before, and also we can bump into enemies and they won't actually encounter us. So this is a really good method of, if you want to play things safe and not get hit and get into an unnecessary encounter, you have the bubble shield for that.
Yep. Nothing
Yeah,
an RPG speedrunner
really
hates.
useful for it.
I talked over you, Calc. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the main downside of Bubble Shield is that you move at, I don't know what the exact number is, but I'd say it's about half the speed as if you move normally. Also, you're not able to dash if you do it. So it's kind of like a risk-reward situation.
It's an optimization thing. You want to use Bubble Shield as little as possible, but you have to use Bubble Shield to avoid certain things during the run.
Yeah.
Oops. Oh. Getting a little happy there. I need to wait a cycle now, unfortunately, but that's fine.
That Beboop seems very scary, but he's really not that bad once you know his attack pattern.
It's the scariest Beboop to me in this. Well, no, there's one that's scarier. I take that back.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I know what one you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Oh shoot!
Ooh.
I was like, I think I'm a little late here. That's fine. We'll just redo it. Again, this is an area that is just unbelievably hard to optimize. So we just do the best we can.
I don't think that actually hit the crank.
Oh no! Okay, well that's
Time to take the respawn.
Oh yeah, you could do that.
I could have,
Yeah.
yeah. Good call. Well, that just doesn't happen to me very often, so. Did it go through it or something?
It probably did.
I'm just gonna wait and play it safe because I'm gonna do the cool dash on the way back, so everybody will just remember that and not the fact that it took me 3 tries to get across this path.
That's smart.
Yep.
Time's the charm.
Let's go.
See, that was way better than the fails you did before.
Yeah, that just made up for all of it. Also this. We're just learning, like, all the new ways that you can do all these screens now since 1.1 came out. It's really cool.
It's really nice.
Yep. Oh, this is the horrible room in here, by the way.
Yep, this is the Chapter 3 cursed room.
Yep. So pretty much every chapter from, I guess Chapter 2 as well has one. But pretty much all the chapters except Chapter 1 and 6 have what we like to call in the community a cursed room, which, as the name implies, is a room that often breaks or is just really hard in general, often involving ice blocks, and this is the first one of them.
That guy is horrible. He is so fast when he gets unfrozen, and he does not stay frozen long at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that was
and we
very...
also need to be frozen on that button
Yep.
to make that geyser move.
Yep.
And so
So
now
then-
we're going to walk up here, so that way he's able to unfreeze, because enemies only are able to unfreeze if they're on camera.
And I dropped an input on getting my bubble shield back up, so that's really bad. All right, we'll see where I'm at here after this. Okay, I'm okay.
Okay.
If
yeah.
I drop below
You can
8, that would have
use
really
these
stunk,
good
but...
ones.
Okay, anyway. That was totally a dropped input. When I came off of that stair, it didn't engage. Oh, I wanted to do this thing here.
Can you still do it?
I got so
Oh,
close.
that was so close.
So close. I'm gonna try it one more time. It's just that cool. Hold on.
I haven't tried this in my run yet, and it seems like so...
Oh, I screwed it up. I got it second try yesterday. This is like the newest, well, the second newest trick, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
It's again, it probably saves like a second, but it's so incredibly satisfying when you get it. So I wanted to at least go for it.
Yeah, again, there are a bunch of new optimizations with dash being found
That's just
because
bad.
of
Sorry about
how
that,
new
everybody.
it is with 1.1.
Jump for it.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes there's like a hole in between the floor and the platform, and you just don't see it. So anyway, let's go fight some Beboops.
So something new as well in 1.1, Kabu now has his dash through ability, or battle ability, sooner. And to compensate it being sooner rather than later, they actually buffed it by making it cost 5 TP instead of 6 TP, which is really useful, and we use it a lot during the run now.
Yeah, in terms of in-battle stuff, getting dash through, we used to get this ability in Chapter 5, and now we get it in Chapter 3, but it's really changed a lot of the fights. Alright, and I just took medal points for the first time so that I can equip more medals, because I'm actually starting to accumulate some useful ones now. So this is kind of a tricky area.
Yeah.
Go ahead, though.
Yeah, the gimmick of this area is you have to use your cattle button to tell Jen and Eerie to change the platforms. There's 2 sections of it going on and off in a way where doing it once will make it go one way, hitting it again will make them go and reset their position. This area isn't too bad. The only tricky part about this area is simply every time you press select or whatever your cattle button is, if you're bubble shielding, it will actually take down your bubble shield, which if you do that while the platform is electrified, it can cause a respawn hazard.
Yeah. It's a pretty awkward area.
Yeah, but we got through it no problem.
Yep. And now we get to fight some sentient tunny. Alright.
Yeah, those battles are pretty simple.
I don't
you
think
just
we
ice ball a
really...
bunch.
I was just gonna say, I don't think we talked about what Poison Attacker does.
We did.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah,
Never
I
mind then.
did.
Uh-oh.
But just to reiterate, so in Chapter 2, we grabbed the medal from Chubby after the eating contest called Weak Stomach, and it makes it so any healing item that heals either HP or TP, or both, will also poison the equipped ally. And Poison Attacker makes it so that way if an ally is poisoned, then their attack will deal 1 more damage. So that is how we are able to kind of blow through the bosses in Chapter 3 and make them go by really fast.
Yep. I got pretty bad RNG in that fight again.
Yeah, we normally get a lot of freezes during that fight, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Again, freezes are what we want for that, and those guys are a 50% chance, as well as the Wasp Trooper earlier.
Yep. I mean, I have to say, like, I didn't wipe to either Vigu or Scarlet somehow. So, honestly, like, everything the rest of the way is gravy.
And now we're at the main area. And this door is now open, which wasn't before. And now we're entering the bottom area. The storage facility of the honey factory.
And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to be careful in this room now, because this is like my favorite room to dash in now, but I have to be really careful, because if I get into an encounter, I won't be able to heal now. I'm gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way with Bubble Shield to avoid encounters.
So, I don't know if we mentioned it just yet, but if you dash into an enemy, at least with the current first form of dash we have now, you won't actually just bump right by it, you will encounter it. So dashing is pretty risky. Later on, we do upgrade our dash, and it allows us to go through enemies without encountering them, but as of now, it's just really scary.
Yep.
And there we see a Venus Bud, which are things we saw earlier in Chapter 2, but instead of foes, they are now friends. And they are we can heal with them at the cost of 8 berries, which is why Blaze wanted to get a certain amount of berries entering here.
Yep. I'm gonna have to use the break room on the way back, unfortunately, but that was the really important one, because it was between battles.
Yeah. So that will lose a little bit of time, but it's not a huge deal.
Yep. I can also
and
dash in the break
a giant
room
blob
now.
of honey.
Yes. There's going to be a lot of fights the rest of the way that kind of look like this, where it's basically just like load V up with as much attack as possible, and then either tornado or hurricane toss stuff. So...
Yeah, hope you guys like this tornado toss spamming now. It happens a lot throughout the run.
I mean, it's pretty fun watching the numbers get bigger, progressively bigger as the game goes along, though, I have to say.
That's true. Especially when it gets to, like, 8 damage.
Yep. Ah, there wasn't anything I could do there.
No, that's just bad RNG.
So I think this is just going to take an extra turn now, unfortunately.
In theory, you could super guard, but believe me, that super guard pulling off with the hand is really hard to time.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I'm getting good pattern aside from that. He didn't spawn any ads or anything, so I guess I can't complain.
Yeah, that's good.
There we go.
There we go. Not
Just
bad.
one extra turn. Again, though, that's like really uncommon.
Just the marathon curse.
That's okay. Yep. As long as I get first try Swampland Skip later.
That's true. All this time will meet up instantly.
Yes. Okay, so
And
we
yeah.
freed our frenemies there, and now it's time to head back up front. After, actually, we got their key card, so now we can go save the overseer.
Normally we'd heal here, but we don't have enough berries, so we have to take the alternative form of healing, which is the bed in the break room.
Oops. Keep missing my passes. There we go.
This isn't Ripper Prison.
All right, and this is what I refer to as the escape or stealth sequences. There's 3 of these in the game. This one's only 1 room long, but it's really, really tricky, I think, when you're first playing the game casually. And if any of these enemies touch me, I don't get an encounter. I just go back to the beginning of the room, which is almost more annoying in a way.
I will say personally, when I was playing this casually, I'm not afraid to admit this because I've heard a lot of other people also did this, but I did not know you could use the bubble shield there.
Yep, I didn't either.
And now we're heading to the boss after healing. Otherwise, we'd be heading straight for the boss.
Yep, I just have to take a little detour here, which at least is faster because of the dash, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this probably only loses about 15 seconds or so. Maybe a little closer to 20, but before it used to be like 25 or 30 without dash.
Yep. But
That's
you do
gonna
what you
get
gotta
even
do.
quicker. Because possibly in 1.1.1 they might get rid of the invisible walls on top of the shop.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool.
Oh, hold on. I want to make sure my party's set up in the correct order first. Okay, there we go. All right, so this is the Chapter 3 boss. This is the B-33 heavy drone. If you can spot the silly pun that they have put in there for this boss's name, bless you, because it is wonderful, and I did not realize it for probably about the first 6 months I played this game.
And it's also the most annoying boss fight because of the ads it can spawn.
Yep. It's also heavily scripted, so I'm going to do a Burly Bomb, and then a couple
This
things
is
with
where
me
that
here.
second Burly Bomb we made back in Chapter 2 comes into effect.
Yep.
Because this boss also has 1 defense and 55 HP. Fortunately, this is easier than Vigu because it's non-hard, so he isn't doing a ton of damage.
If he was, though, this is considered one of the hardest bosses in early game.
For hard.
Yep, like casual hard mode because of the missiles. If you don't time those correctly, they really stack on the damage.
Yep.
the EQ isn't really that bad considering you actually can use items and you're probably more leveled up than us. But it seems this fight went off without a hitch.
Heck yeah.
It's a really good fight.
All right, there we
go.
So we have successfully retrieved 3 artifacts, and yeah, we're about a minute 20 some and change into the run, so not too bad.
Not bad at all.
Mothova wants credit for that, but unfortunately, nope.
Yeah, she ain't getting that.
We worked hard for that.
And now it's time to go back and report to the Queen. We've done our job here.
Our work here is done. So we're going to be walking back. We're going to be picking up another bad book along the way, but that's pretty much about it. So if there's any donations or announcements, got a few minutes here where it's pretty chill.
No donations at the current moment, but I do want to remind everybody that we are raising money for White Bear Area Emergency Food Shelf. The White Bear Area Emergency Food Shelf relies on generous donors like you to advance their mission of providing food and support to their neighbors in need. For every $1 donated, they can purchase $8 in healthy groceries for families struggling to make ends meet, so every little bit helps. Right now, we are at 2,600, and as Blake said at the beginning of the run, let's see if we can get to that 3,000 before any of it. We're only $300 away. And that would be almost $4,000 more in food that can be provided for the White Bear Area Emergency Relief Fund if we can hit that.
That would be amazing. Let's get those donations in, y'all, if you can. We'll get you some puns. Get us some good insect puns. We haven't had any good bee puns for Gambit to read yet. Let's get to work on that.
And in this cutscene, we actually learn that the artifact we found from the Bee Kingdom is not actually the full artifact. This is actually half of the artifact. So now in Chapter 4, we have to go searching for that lost half somewhere. But thankfully, we found a clue, thanks to Team Slacker, who just came in and out. They tell us that it's in the Lost Sands somewhere, and now we're tasked to go find it.
Yep. We gotta go comb the desert. But we gotta do some more cleanup first, so...
Yeah.
More shopping, more... We gotta go pick up another medal from the shady shop. So there's a little bit of stuff to do here.
Yep, we gotta do shopping, cooking, and a lot of dashing.
Yep. Although we're gonna teleport here. There's another... We've done a little bit of fast traveling, but there's a couple different fast travel systems in this game.
Yes, the shady ants.
Yep. You didn't see nothing.
Yeah, as fast as dash is, you can't deny that's infinitely quicker.
Hey, that wasn't too bad.
I'm getting good RNG on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the medals that appear in the shade shop are basically just random, and sometimes you need to ask him to reroll. And those cost about 1.5 seconds, depending on how fast you do it. So it's not a huge deal if it isn't great, but... I mean,
it gets to be annoying when you have to re-roll it like 7 times.
Oh, yeah.
Or 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40. I have personally had that actually go on for 40 times, and it was really unfortunate.
That's pretty awful. All right, so we got to get prepared here in the desert town. We need to talk to the mayor to get some free berries. We need to get a key to the bandit hideout, because apparently the bandits have something to do with this.
Yep.
And then we got to do some cooking
generous.
with my favorite chef in the game, Frisbee.
Second best chef.
That's fair. Everybody's got their favorite. I'm gonna make 2 spicy candies here. Do you guys want to talk about spicy candy?
I can do it. So spicy candy is the same thing as a spicy berry. It increases your attack by 2 turns, but the added bonus when cooking it with spicy berry with flour is that it gives you 5 TP. Good job. It gives you 5 TP along with it, and it can also trigger weak stomach, whereas the spicy berry cannot actually trigger weak stomach. Assuming that weak stomach was able to trigger weak stomach, we do a lot less cooking of spicy candy, but it's not that big of a deal. It's only a few seconds.
Yeah, again, weak stomach only triggers poison if it heals either HP or TP. So unfortunately, we need to spend all the time to cook them, which isn't that big a time loss, especially with 1.1 because of sped up cooking.
Yep. Right there, we got the Strong Start medal. We can have 2 turns, or one bug can have 2 turns at the start of the battle, but every time they get relayed and the exhaustion mechanic happens, instead of losing 1 attack, they would lose 2 attack.
Yeah, Strong Start, that might sound not great, given that our base attack usually only
Oh,
does
heck,
3
I am an
damage.
idiot.
I was gonna say, if you can get a
that was
B-boop.
the wrong fight. Normally you would do
That's
that
fine.
fight if you get a B-boop spawn, I think, according to your route.
Yeah, I messed up. That's
yeah.
fine.
Anyways, about Strong Start, if you relay the turn, it won't have that -2 deficit. For some reason, it'll only give the character you relay to a -1 deficit, so it's kind of just like getting an extra attack. Also, you can use that turn to use an item.
Or inflicting a status, which is what we do use it for later down the line.
Yeah, we end up using Strong Start a lot.
Yeah, I wanted to get a level up there so that I could use Strong Start on the next boss fight, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that random encounter like I wanted, so we'll just have to go without.
Yeah, if you get the B-boop, you do get to use Strong Start there. So I guess there is kind of an upside for getting it, but usually it's just slow.
Yep. Anyway, we got half of the key already. This is the other half. We're not going to get it right now, though, because, oh gosh, we just got ambushed.
Yeah.
Another trap! There are so many of these!
We just keep falling into them.
And now we're in a jail cell. Game over. We're done.
Yep.
Yeah, I
So
don't
we're just
see
going
how
to be here for the
through
next
this.
couple hours.
But Kabu's a beetle. He can actually just dig. He can get us out of here, no problem.
We have a solution, y'all. Alright, I should probably get equipped for the next battle then. There's also a friend in that next cell, and unfortunately in the speedrun we don't save friend.
She is very slow,
Yep.
sadly. But she does give you a crystal berry, casually. Which is very good.
Oh yes, they didn't hear that. Oops. On the wrong button there.
Yeah, mechanically, these bandits are actually pretty blind. As you can see, even if the bandit was facing him, he still wouldn't have actually triggered the cutscene of them being caught because their vision is just so bad.
Yeah. And that actually didn't cost me as much time as it looked like because I was going to have to wait for him to turn around anyway. So it maybe cost me like half a second. It wasn't that bad though. Ugh.
Yeah, in that room right there, it doesn't really matter how long you wait. Sometimes you can make it through there faster, but either way, you're going to need to wait for that guy at the end who goes in a square formation and always starts in the same spot.
If you get caught, you go back to the jail cell, by the way. So this is the second. This is probably the hardest cell sequence in my opinion.
It is.
Yeah, there is one other one we do later on in Chapter 5, but it's not really that as bad, because instead of going back to the start of the entire sequence, you only go back to the start of the room.
And because V has her Beamerang back, we don't need to actually be stealthy anymore. We can just straight up fight these guys.
Oh, that was bad.
See? Moon's demonstrating. We can just fight them now.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do for sure. Oh man, I'm having some bad dashes here today. It's okay. We'll get some good dashes later. It's part of the dash giveth, the dash taketh away. I almost got into another encounter there because I had a brain fart, so thankfully that didn't happen. How safe do I want to be here? I'm okay. Let's risk it.
You'll probably be fine.
Safe before this. I think this will be fine.
Yeah, I'll just do the Asto fight pretty safe, and I'm sure it'll be okay. Famous last words, and then that's fine. I wanted to change characters before we got in here, but I'll just do it in the battle. This is Astothiles. He has one arm.
Also, I don't think we mentioned it earlier, because you didn't actually end up taking a death, which is really nice. But if you die, it's not that big of a deal, because you can immediately restart the fight, and you'll have all your items and all of your medals and the HP you initially had when starting it back. And speaking of items, the gimmick of Astothiles, this fight, is that we are actually banned from using any items, or else he will just break them immediately.
He wants a fair
fight. We need to
fight.
find other ways to deal damage to him, and we do that with Power Exchange, which is the medal we just got at the start of Chapter 4, which increases an ally's attack by 1, but decreases their defense by 1. So by doing that on V, we kind of just tank her and then pretty much just tornado toss a bunch. But of course, because her defense is low, we want to use Bubble Shield on her to make sure she's defended, or else Asto's attacks will do 1 extra damage than they normally would.
Yeah, Asto hits really hard.
I will mention one thing as well. When Calix talked about the game over, I should mention a disclaimer right there saying that you can restart the battle only if it's a scripted fight. If it's a non-scripted fight like a regular overworld enemy, if you game over, you are stuck and restarting to your last save. Another thing with this Asto battle is that in the route that we're making currently, 2.1, this fight is actually using Spiky Body from the Vigu hard mode medal. So this fight can turn from a 5-turn down to a 3-turn if we're lucky.
There we go.
So that's even more time save that we do in the new route.
Yep. More medal points. All the level ups, I kind of alluded to this earlier, but all the level ups are scripted, so I have to make sure I pick the right thing at every level, or it's going to really not be a good time for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one there is really important because we want to be able to have Power Exchange, Poison Attacker, and Weak Stomach all on. Power Exchange costs 5, Poison Attacker costs 3, and Weak Stomach costs 1, which is 9 in total. And at that point, we only
I have to
had.
get that back.
Oh no.
That's fine. I just have
At
to go
that
back
point-
around and get it.
Yeah, it's not a huge deal. At that point, we only had 8 MP, so it's very important that he does not miss level on that, or else these next few fights would be pretty scary.
Let's see. And I have to do a couple encounters here. So this will be... Oh, shoot. Oh, I guess that worked out. I pulled off because I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway. If we have a couple donations... Yep, exactly. I was just going to say that.
It's like we think alike here, Blaze. I do have one donation. I have $200 from Fruity Waffles, who says, I'd love to actually watch this run, but I need to blind play it at some point. But I'm sure Blaze will kill it. 3K hype soon.
Fruity Waffles, you are awesome. Thank you so much. Oops. Oh, that's right. I got a free attack on Leif. I was like, why am I doing that? There we go. I'm just farming some XP here. Later on in the run, it's going to be extremely important that I hit my level ups on certain fights. So we're just kind of basically keeping on track right now with that. So
Yeah, there are 2 more fights that come up, which it's very important we level up on, so that way we're fully healed for the next one. The first one being in Chapter 4, which you'll see later on, and then the second one being in Chapter 6.
Yep.
Earthquake!
It's yet another trap.
It's yet another mini
Another
boss
one!
coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, we've been having a rough day.
Alright, spicy candy. Let's go.
Yep, and the same thing as usual, poison V, get attack up, and just murder the Dune Scorpion.
Dune Scorpion does have defense, so we need to use Hurricane Toss rather than just Tornado.
And the ad that he has, the one in front, he can be annoying sometimes. Instead of attacking, he can burrow underground, and if he does that, it won't be a 2-turn battle. Instead, it will end up being a 3-turn.
Yep. So, I finally got some good RNG.
Yep.
Let's go!
Yay!
Or if you're like me in my run, he dug twice in a row, and it was painful.
Yeah, if he digs at all, you need to use Leaf. Leaf is the only one who has a basic attack that can actually bring them out of the ground.
Yep.
It is also important to note that Hurricane Toss is also able to do this, but at the time in that fight, you would have 1 TP, and Hurricane Toss costs 5 TP, so you wouldn't be able to use it.
Yep.
And obviously, because V has all the buffs, we really don't want to use Leaf. We just want to use V a bunch.
Hey, I think Fruity Waffles just got us more than halfway, I think, to that 3,000. Let's keep those donations coming. Let's make sure that we get there, y'all.
Yeah, Fruity Waffles got us halfway there. I've got one more donation if I've got time for it.
Definitely.
I have $20 from Firebird Lover. A gaming wolf needed help to save all bug kind. He gathered a Ferrific bee, a beetle that can really move, and a moth that is not hot cold. Awoo. A squad formed. Their tricksy wasps did badger them. Their gambit succeeded. The reward was an oasis where they could play Flappy Firebird. Good luck from all your mods, Blaze.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, you guys. I have such good friends, and I'm really glad I get to do all the things that I get to do. I wouldn't be able to do it without them, so thank you so much, Firebird, and thank you, everybody.
And the sandcastle has magically appeared in front of us. So this is the 4th dungeon of the game. The theming around this place is ice puzzles, which you would think normally that, since the way we've been talking, ice puzzles are the bane of our existence. Not so much. This place is actually really nice. It's really simple. The puzzles are really nice. He tried to do a trick right there that's new with 1.1. He can actually dash and hit the block twice, and it would line up perfectly to hit the switch that we need to hit.
Yeah.
But he sadly didn't hit it, so
It's
he just
really
did the
tough.
normal
I got
way.
it for the first time since 1.1 came out in practice today, and I was really hoping I would get it there, but alas, it was not meant to be.
It was not.
I practiced it a little, and I have not been able to get it once.
It's really tough. It looks cool though. It's one of those tricks that's definitely, it probably saves maybe 4 or 5 seconds, but it just looks really cool when you do it right.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel obligated to do it because this is actually my favorite dungeon in the game. I love the pyramid.
This is probably my second favorite dungeon. My favorite one being the Chapter 7 dungeon. That is in the oven. But this one's also really cool.
Yep.
This is probably my favorite dungeon theme. Otherwise, my favorite dungeon has to be Chapter 6.
Oh yeah, I knew you would say that.
It has to be Chapter 6.
Nobody likes Rubber Prison. You're crazy.
That's exactly why I like it. I wanted to practice and perfect it where no one else could.
I don't know what has gotten into me right now. Okay, I was just about to say, I was gonna say I love all the cool dash stuff that you can do in this dungeon, and then I just completely screwed that up. So anyway, this is not how you're supposed to do this, by the way.
Yeah, we can kind of skip this puzzle. Otherwise, it's a beamerang puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me one. All right, cool. I did. Oh no, I ran off the edge.
I think you hit the
still
respawn
got me there,
trigger.
though. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, there are respawn triggers, and sometimes they don't extend all the way out. But that time, thankfully, he was able to run into it.
I'm not going to be able to skip a cycle, unfortunately, but... Oh, whew. That guy's scary, but I love doing that one too. Yeah, he's fast. It's worth noting, the dash is so good. You basically need to do dash in like every room where you would like be moving for more than just like a couple feet. It's just that much better.
Yeah. And when time comes, we will optimize every single room for the most optimal dash movement.
Yep.
But that day is not today. That is a lot of research.
Here we have the Chapter 4 version of the Cursed Room. Now this one is probably the easiest one out of all the Cursed Rooms, but the reason why it's still a Cursed Room is because not only is it an ice block puzzle, but also these enemies really like to unfreeze. Like, really, really like to unfreeze.
They also like to land on the switch and not actually land on the switch for some reason.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like, usually, if they're inside the circle, in theory, they're supposed to stay frozen forever. And if they're, like, outside, they'll be frozen and then they'll unfreeze after a little bit. But I've seen that guy unfreeze while even still completely inside the circle, which is really weird.
Yeah, we're unsure if that's an actual bug or that's intentional. I'd love for one of the devs to tell us.
That was my last discovery, by the way. That little set of hieroglyphics
Yeah, that's
there.
hanging on the wall.
It's a fun little skip here. You can use the ice block to stop the ice block, and then just hit it up where you want it. So, okay, we got to the next fight.
And this fight right here is the reason we fought all those cacklings earlier, because we really want to level up on this fight, since right after here, we're going to have the Chapter 4 boss fight, and there's not really an easy way to heal before it, so it's very important we level up here, so we automatically fully heal.
Thankfully, this fight got a lot easier in 1.1, or I guess a lot more optimized.
Yeah, more optimized. We would be able to one-turn this before using a Leaf and Poison attacker on Leaf. Now, because we have Dash Through, we can just dash through twice, and it would do the same thing. So, saving us 2 whole berries.
Hey, I'm gonna need those berries.
This is true.
Yeah, also Dash Through as a move itself is a really fast animation with double mashing.
Yep.
So here is where we use, at the first instance of Strong Start, which we will see on this fight, we can use an item on B while still being able to attack 3 times.
And hopefully this will be a 2-turn fight. It's totally dependent on RNG, but this fight can conceivably be a 2-turn if everything goes well. Which is kind of a shame, because it's one of the best boss songs in the entire game.
Yeah, this song is a banger.
Goodbye, last
Definitely up
spicy
there.
candy.
And this guy does not actually have defense, so we don't want to use Hurricane Toss just to save the TP.
But if it's a defense up, then...
Yeah, then we kind of have to use it, but again,
Yeah.
we don't want to jinx anything. Nice, okay.
So far,
that's
so
really
good. Alright, we got the 2-turn.
Yeah. Also, something I'd just like to point out, which I find really funny, and I actually just found out about this morning. The Chapter 1 boss, Sputter, ideally that is a 5-turn. The Chapter 2 boss, B2, is ideally a 4-turn. B33, the Chapter 3 boss, is ideally a 3-turn.
Oh my...
And the Chapter 4 boss is ideally a 2-turn. So it just kind of shows how powerful the materials we get later on begin.
Yep.
Unfortunately, actually, if you consider General Ultimax the Chapter 5 boss, it would be a 1-turn.
But according to the game, he's a mini-boss.
Yeah.
We're close. We're close, but
Poor
sadly,
Ultimax. He just never gets his due.
yeah.
Poor guy.
I'm surprised though. I've never realized this, and you just realized it.
Yeah, I just noticed this morning.
You were running the numbers. Oh,
Yep.
Gambit, do we need to get some donations in? This would be a great time.
I do. I actually have a $5 donation from the Flying Marlin saying, haven't said this yet, so here it goes. Why do they call it an oven? If you put of in the cold food and of out hot food. Let's eat the food and get to that 3K. And then I have a $250 donation from Sporadic Erratic saying, trying to reach your goal, you say. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Much love to the Midwest Speed Fest community, volunteers, staff, and runners. Y'all are wonderful. Let's get to that 4K hype.
Oh my gosh, y'all. Way to go. GG's Midwest Speed Fest.
So we are at 3,075 right now. Can we get another 925 in the next, we got about an hour and a half left?
Probably with the extra stuff. You still are, like, very pun light, Gambit.
I know. People need to donate for the puns. I need to read some out, guys.
This game's so cute and adorable. Just find something that looks cute and pick your favorite bug, pick your least favorite bug, and let's get some puns going. But no, seriously, everybody, congratulations on 3K. Let's not stop here, though. We got a long way to go still.
And you can see now, the Wasp Kingdom, or not Wasp Kingdom, the Ant Kingdom is under attack by the Wasps.
Because wasps are jerks.
They are.
I go for this.
They've invaded everything.
Hey. All right.
Nice.
I just learned earlier today that you can dash through that room. I was too scared to try it earlier.
It depends on the movement of the scout.
Yeah.
You should go around where the Wasp Trooper is. You can squeeze in between him without hitting the wall. But it's also pretty risky.
We have,
Yeah,
a,
and
we have
this
a pretty
is Wasp
important
King.
character that we need to introduce here, too.
Yep. This is Wasp King. He is the main antagonist of the game, and we're introducing him by just doing nothing, because he has a scripted fight and he insta-kills us.
You couldn't have even blocked that? That
Nah.
looked like it hurt.
I tried.
99?
It would have done 98 instead of 99.
Yeah. It's like not as bad.
I need to check and see where my berries are at here, because I'm going to be doing a little bit of extra shopping, because I know that we've got our donation incentive coming up, and I just want to make sure that I'm on track for that.
Mhm.
But there's plenty of extra berries in the run. I'm not worried about it if need be, but I want to make sure I hit my spots here. Yeah, I'm a little short, so I think I'm just going to do the first dark cherries now. And then hopefully stop getting into random encounters, please. That would be nice.
It would be optimal.
Yeah.
There is.
While we're pushing through the cutscene, I just want to give a special shout out to the French Restream who just rated us. And thank you so much for helping us out this weekend.
Yes, thank you. French Restream, Japanese Restream, you both are fantastic. Thank you for all of the support. We appreciate that as runners, and I know the staff appreciates it as well.
Mm-hmm.
We got
And
some
also,
more
looking
berries.
through Twitter, it turns out the person I was referring to that I saw running this game is actually the commentator for the Japanese Restream.
Oh, seriously, that's amazing. Very cool. The, yeah. Ugh. Now it's bugging me. I'm gonna look up their name during one of the long cuts scenes, because I want to give them a proper shout-out. What am I doing here? I'm going this way. No! Dashed into the save crystal. If you're gonna hit one thing, just don't hit the save crystal. It's absolutely the worst thing that you can hit when you're dashing. Alright, normally I save this for later, but I'm gonna be buying an extra item here. So, dark cherries sell for 50 berries, so I'm just gonna do that now.
Yeah, dark cherries are unique. They can give you some really, really powerful items with cooking, or you can just sell them for a flat 50. We got break instantly.
Let's go.
Yeah, so something new with 1.1, this stump gives people who play on normal mode, if you kill a boss and not on hard mode, you can actually buy their hard mode medal at the caravan. And something new to 1.1 is that if you never played hard mode before, the quick flee medal that comes from hard mode Spooter would always be on there, And a lot of people think that's actually an item, and they don't realize throughout the entire game that that's actually the hard mode metal stump. So they actually changed it so that way it'll recycle the different metals, and hopefully people will realize that it's actually a metal shop.
Okay. All right. I was looking for one more poison attacker here, and that took a while. So there we go.
3 rolls were not great.
It's okay.
Yeah, that didn't lose that much, thankfully, but that still is a lot. Also, I don't know if we mentioned it earlier, but earlier on, he went into the library to turn in the last of the discoveries to grab 2 more crystal berries, which is what we needed to be able to have just barely enough to buy the poison attacker.
Yep.
And what we're doing right now is we're going back to
book.
Frisbee. Nice.
Yep,
Yeah,
I need more spice. I need more candy.
Yes. Perfect.
That's one of my... I like that dash, specifically because I hate hitting save points so much. It always feels very satisfying. Alright, let's go, Crisby. Do we have any more donations or anything while I'm firing up this candy here, Gambit?
No donations. I just want to remind you, if you're considering supporting, you can always subscribe to Midwest Speed Fest or cheer bits, because all the Twitch revenue we receive during this event will also go towards the White Bear Area Emergency Food Shelf. Of course, if you have Twitch Prime, or Twitch Gaming as I think it is now, you can also subscribe for free using that.
Shoutouts to Twitch Gaming. It's where real gamers game.
It's so weird calling it Twitch Gaming.
I know. Alright. Off to the grasslands here.
Yep. Probably not anymore, but it was the most annoying chapter to go through.
Yeah, Chapter 5 used to be my least favorite chapter personally, because of this one very specific trick, which we will come up upon later on. But actually, as it turns out yesterday, a new method was found for it, and it is significantly easier. So now, Chapter 5, it still might not be my favorite, and it still might be my least favorite, because the other chapters are just so good. And that's not to say Chapter 5 is bad, it's still a really good chapter, but the others are also just so... they're so good. This game's so much fun to run, I'll just say that.
Yeah, I know you do any percent and any percent glitchless. Oh.
I was scared there for a second.
Yeah, I got stuck
Yeah,
on that thing. That was weird. Oh, shoot.
I was scared that Chomper Seed was gonna hit you.
You can actually get this room on one dash. That's okay.
It's really hard, though.
I've done it one time.
Definitely something you need to practice.
Yeah.
And now this is pretty much the 5th dungeon of the game, the Swamplands. But thankfully we have Maki joining us, and he is a powerful foe. Yeah, he's a powerful foe. He's a powerful ally to us. He's a foe to the enemies.
Yes.
Where after we do our turns, he will actually attack for us, and he'll deal 6 damage to the enemy in front. It's pretty useful later down the line when he's needed, but for this one required fight, we don't actually need him.
Yeah, hopefully not.
I think there's only one fight now. Only one remains where Maki actually is used.
Yeah.
I wanted those guys to freeze. Part 1, because they don't do that animation, and 2, because if they had frozen, this would have killed them. But now they're all gonna live.
At least the animation is quicker.
That's true.
Yeah, it used to be on 1.0.5. That animation was, I don't know the exact number, but I'd say about 2 times as long.
Yeah. But we got a lot of XP from it, and Maki never had to attack. He was there for intimidation purposes.
Yeah, they were definitely scared.
Yeah, he does job well.
Getting set up for the next battle, which is coming up. Probably, it's not for a while, but it's a lot closer now because of the new Swampland Skip.
Can I take a donation real fast?
Absolutely.
I do have another $25 from Moosey, I believe. No comment, but thank you so much for the donation.
Thank you.
Alright, time for my favorite cutscene of this entire game, pretty much.
Yeah. This is a pretty great cutscene.
It is.
Yeah, this one's great.
In which we learn V actually really can fly momentarily.
And she was going to stay up there probably, if not for the archer shooting her down.
Yes. She got heckin' yeeted. Poor V.
Yep, and they're going on their way. They
And
don't
we
care.
got separated from Maki, which is, if you're playing the game casually, you're just like, oh no, I am like terrified now.
My free 6 damage, no. And the sad part about this is that where Maki is landed, that's actually the end of the dungeon. So if only we got yeeted the other way, then we'd be at the boss already.
Yep. Kabu just learned his level 2 dash, basically, is a way to think about it, and this is the dash that smashes boulders. It's also going to be the dash that if I hit an enemy now, while I'm dashing, it won't trigger an encounter as long as I hit them basically like head on.
Yeah, the dash is really nice that you can avoid encounters, but sometimes if you hit them from the side, or if the enemies throw projectiles at you, you still can get hit by them, which is kind of annoying.
The
But it's
projectiles
way
are definitely
better
the
than
worst
before.
part.
Yeah. There are a few instances where you need to be really careful with them.
All right.
We have
It is
arrived at
time.
the
Here it
room.
comes.
Yep.
So while he gets set up, Cal, you want to explain Swampland Skip?
Alright. So for the longest time, about 3 months ago I'd say, when Glitchless was run, there was this trick called Swampland Skip, which basically you hit a switch using very precise movement and angles, and then very precise timing to throw a beamerang at a switch which is on a ledge. Oh, that was close.
I know, I was not expecting him to attack me there. Anyway, we're good, go ahead.
And this trick is the thing I mentioned earlier as to why Chapter 5 is like my least favorite chapter. However, just yesterday, there was a new method found where you don't need to do the precise setup. You still do need to do a setup, but it's really lenient, and you'll see it here. So if you threw the beamerang down, normally you'd jump off the bridge and hit the switch right up there.
Oh, okay, it
Oh,
didn't
he
work.
missed.
It happened, it worked twice in practice, not jumping, so I'll try jumping this time.
So normally you would, with the old method at least, you would just jump off and try to hit the switch, and that was super precise and finicky. But with this,
There
if
we
you
go.
do it set up like that, you
There
just
it
hit the
is.
switch from there.
Yep.
And so that basically took the hardest trick in all of Glitchless and kind of threw it out the window.
It's pretty trivial now. Even though I messed it up once, it's just, mostly that's because we haven't quite figured out like if it's required or not, and I'm gonna say it sure seems like it's I got it without jumping earlier, but it certainly seems easier to just do the jump, and it's not that hard to do.
Yeah, more testing needs to be done with jumping versus not jumping.
Yeah, but this was literally last night. I got a ping and I was like, you need to do this tomorrow, and I was like, what? Oh, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
The
still a
second it was found, I
failure.
had to ping you.
I mean, that was so great. It made my evening. I'm not even joking. Okay. So yeah, that trick saves about 90 seconds, by the way, if you get it the first time. So it skips I think it skips 3 rooms, one of which is essentially an auto-scroller, so
Yeah, that's
It's-
about right.
pretty great.
Two
And you could
rooms.
get it first try doing like the really tricky setup. Oh god. He was a
Oh,
lot closer
geez.
than I thought he was
I
gonna
can
be.
almost hit you from the side.
Oh man. They're messing with me tonight. They must know it's a marathon.
As
Hello.
always.
I also love that dash.
At least they aren't hitting you.
Yep. Alright, so now we have found the beast!
This is the Chapter 5 boss, even though it is not the final boss of Chapter 5, but this is considered the main boss. And right there we used a move called Break. I'm not sure if we actually explained what it does, but basically it lowers an enemy's defense. As simple as that. Kind of like Burly Bomb, except you don't do the extra damage. But thankfully, because of how much V does, the extra damage doesn't really matter too much.
We just kind of obliterate in 2 turns.
Yep. I believe I called this out as well, but I have a second poison attacker medal now, so I'm doing I'm doing an extra damage now, relative to before when I'm poisoned, so... Oh shoot, I missed my block. Oh, I missed it again. I'm kidding.
Oh no.
Yep, and here we see, it's basically backstory involving Kabu and this monster. Kabu wants to protect his friends, and we're gonna do just that.
I messed up I actually did mess up my block there. It's fine. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, normally we fail attack that, but if he heals twice, which he just bites twice, and you don't perfect block it, you're forced to do a normal attack instead of a failed attack. But it's a pretty low chance to for that happen.
Yep. And just in case you are curious, Danny and Calc, so that second try new Swampland Skip, relative to my PB where I did not Swampland Skip, was a savings of 1:36.
Wow.
Yep.
There you go. A simple trick saved 1.5 minutes.
Yep.
And can save even more because you messed it up once.
Yeah. No,
It's crazy.
I was experimenting. I didn't mess it up the first time. I was just experimenting. Yeah, we got a couple more cutscenes here. Do we have any more donations or anything, Gambit?
No donations at the moment. We're currently sitting at $3,100. We would love to get that $900 more to get us up to that 4K stretch goal that we've got.
And I would love to hear Gambit read some puns. Ooh, that's fun.
Oh, wow. I've never seen that before.
I've actually done it a lot.
Did you cut
don't
down a
know
bush?
how.
There without cutting the bush?
Okay, I haven't done it without cutting the bush before. That was new. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
That must have been like a frame-perfect bush skip.
That was actually pretty neat.
I could not do that again in a million years, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is the second stealth section of the game. We are actually infiltrating the Wasp Kingdom itself. And it's pretty tight security, but Kabu's dig is no match.
Yep. Honestly, the security's not that great. You'll see in a second. There's a dude just sleeping over here. Sleeping on
He's
the
sleeping
job.
on the job.
He's had a long day.
But he is a light sleeper, and if you try to go past him or get too close to him, he will wake up.
These are probably the most elaborate, like, cycle-based rooms in the game, and they're really, really satisfying when you get them right.
Yeah, the cycle where the guys are pretty much random, so it's basically random whether or not you'll get onto that soon. And you want to get on there soon because the Wasp will always be on the same cycle.
Yep.
And if you're able to get on it, like, as soon as it comes down, you can kind of just dash right through before the Wasp is even able to go down, which saves about 10 seconds or so.
Yeah, I was
like
playing
that.
it really safe because I haven't had a chance to really mess with that cycle yet, but I figure there is a... Like, you can just basically pretend he's not there after you get it, if you get it fast enough.
Yeah, pretty much, assuming you dash well. But unfortunately, it is pretty random based on where the geyser is.
Fun fact, in my most recent run, I did that room perfectly with dashing, and I managed to dash past the roaming wasp.
Nice. Okay, stealth section over, by the way.
Yep.
I did not want to do... I forgot what ability I was
No.
on. Anyway, we're fine. Don't worry about it. I wanted to play this room safe, and then I changed my mind at the last second, because I was feeling cocky. Shouldn't have been.
Yeah, when it comes to dashing in this room, you can easily dash straight into that Wasp Trooper. Don't try to sideswipe him. Literally dash straight into him.
Yeah,
He
the
won't
second
hit
one is
you.
the one that scares me.
Yes, the second one is the one that will hit you.
Yep.
I think I tested it out, and if you just hold right that whole time, you're able to dash through before he's even able to hit you. I'm not sure how consistent it is, but I've definitely gotten it a few times.
I did it in my
Really?
TV yesterday, but I didn't. I figured it wasn't consistent. I'm buying an extra Jade Stew here, by the way, just so you two don't freak out, because it's for the bonus fight.
Okay.
And that means I have to go to the storage bug, unfortunately, but that's okay. We got a very comfy estimate here.
the normal route, we are able to skip this bug. Fortunately, using it isn't that bad because of how close he is.
Oh, you know what? I made... Okay. That's fine. I just realized Okay. So my item routing for the bonus boss, I was gonna buy another berry, or I was gonna buy an extra spicy berry, but it was gonna be for a squash tart later, and I turned it into a... Oh no! Actually, hold on. I did that wrong. I have to go back. I wanted to store the berry, not the
spicy candy.
Yeah, I stored a candy. I actually need that. Oh no, I don't. It's for the final. I'm fine. I can get it back at the final boss. Okay, just ignore me, y'all.
I just wanted to dash some more.
This is like a one-time route so that I can do Seedling King. I've never done my items this way before.
On the fly routing.
Yes. Anyway. Oh, hold on. I didn't change my medals. Thank goodness.
I actually didn't catch that. Yeah. I'm glad you noticed.
I was like one jump away from the cutscene. So anyway, we're good. If this guy beats me, I'd probably just have to like quit the run because, you know, he's such a joke. Can't lose to Ultimax. Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of alluded on this earlier, but yes, this guy is in fact a one-turn fight.
Yep.
All I have to do is just
and it doesn't even matter.
Yep. They stand no chance against Kabu in his powered-up state of poison and candy.
Yes. His poisoned and sugared-up state.
If there's ever speedrun fan art, I'd love to see just a hopped up on sugar Kabu.
Oops. I always forget how quickly that cutscene ends.
I actually stood there for like 3 seconds during my last run because I didn't realize, like, I expected more text. I just kind of forgot.
Yeah, it ends so fast, and then it's just like, gotta go. And I'm like sitting here scrolling my notes to make sure I get to the next section. But anyway.
And to Teddy in chat, we see it later. Don't worry.
Yes, Ultimax will be thoroughly shamed given enough time. Don't you all worry.
Yeah. So right here, story-wise, we kind of got duped by the boss king. When we went to go invade his kingdom, he was invading ours.
Yep. The old switcheroo. Actually, what happened is he pulled Maki away, because Maki was the one that like saved the day after Chapter 4.
True.
Thanks, Maki.
You had one job.
But yeah, this is the end of Chapter 5. We're actually, there's not a whole lot of this run left. We probably got about 45 minutes or so left. We're about to get an extremely broken ability. Right? So, go ahead, Calc.
Oh, I was just saying that 45 minutes seemed about right as a good estimate.
Yeah. Depending on how well I play, which, considering how things have been going so far, I would say there's no guarantees, but it's mostly been overworld stuff. All the boss fights have been really, really good so far, even though I've gotten... I would say I've gotten more bad RNG than normal, but, I mean, as long as you get through the fight, that's ultimately what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, good RNG on... I mean, I guess the RNG on Scarlet wasn't great, but you learned.
I clutched that one out. By the way, there's a termite kingdom. We're about to go there.
Yep.
While we are talking plot points. Also, Primal Weevil still has an opportunity to completely ruin my day, so we'll see if that happens again.
I have faith in you.
Also true.
That's been a theme in my PB runs lately, is one Primal Weevil death to his stupid electric ability. So hopefully that won't happen today. I actually do need to go get those other cherries as well, so that'll take a little bit of extra time here. But, yeah, so we just got a little bit of stuff to do here. Not too much to say, really. I don't know if we have any donations or announcements, or... Gambit, you got anything on your end?
Any more puns?
Please say
No
puns.
puns, but I do have a $160 donation from Levon Firestorm that says this is the revenue from Twitch for the month of November, so we can get it properly added to the total. Thanks everyone for all the subscriptions and bits. We here on staff can ask for a better community. Let's finish this out strong with a lot of hearts.
Awesome. Thank you, Levon. To remember what I haven't done. I think I'm good just to go. It's also a really satisfying dash.
It is.
So I'm gonna do a quick detour back over to the Golden Settlement because there's another dark cherries I can get there. And I'm just
normally in the run we do here, it doesn't matter if we don't have enough berries for like in our actual inventory. As long as you buy 1 jade stew, which is what we usually do in the route, even if you have 0 berries, the 2 dark cherries we get in Wasp Kingdom and at the Association, because Moon ended up having to get it early, but that one and the Wasp Kingdom one, we would sell those at the upcoming town, which we know is going to be the termites, and we have everything we need to beat the game berry-wise.
Yep.
But because of the detour and a little bit of encounters, we are forced to get this dark cherry.
And the donation incentive, because I need a couple extra items for that, so that is also part of it. So, in theory, if I did everything perfectly, I wouldn't have needed to get anything extra, but I'm gonna just play it nice and safe. Alright, so if you played this game casually, you probably remember this area, and you probably don't remember it all that fondly. Don't be mad at me for what I'm about to do on the next screen.
They did make this place a little bit easier to traverse.
Yeah.
But nothing will beat what we're about to do.
Yeah. Honestly, this is the trick that made me want to run Glitchless, because I was just like, I want to be able to do this every time I play Bug Fables from now on.
That's what I do on my casual runs. I just skip it.
Yeah. Alright, so we just got a flying ability, and guess what? We can just fly on over here to the return platform, and there we go. That's the entire, not Deadlands, Shadowlands.
Forsaken Lands.
Yeah, Forsaken Lands, sorry. And I was just double checking my medals there, make sure I'm healed up. Let's save, why not?
I remember
this jerk.
actually, I couldn't figure out how to do Forsaken Land, so I had to look it up, and I wasn't actually able to find it, so I had to just resort to doing the pencil.
Really?
Yep.
I mean, I know it's tricky, but I didn't think it was that tricky.
I mean, in that
like
area
an
where you
hour.
have to, like, precisely follow the path, I would absolutely see somebody rage quitting that.
Yeah.
There was just this one part, and I didn't realize you could fly onto something else.
Yep.
Mm.
I did figure it out later.
Oh, I got it. Okay, he tried to be a
Nice.
jerk, and I prevented him from being a jerk.
And the awesome
So, Dan,
block.
let's go.
Yeah. Well, I was all keyed in because I was waiting for it. I knew he was going to try to do that again.
He wanted to be the run killer.
It's basically the same block that you have to do on Scarlet. When Scarlet attacks, you wait for the glint in the eye, and then you hit the block. But it's like, you know it's coming, and it's like, you just want to block it, and a lot of times it's really easy to block early. So, we got there.
Yeah. Also, it's important to note that if you miss the block for that one attack there, he paralyzes everyone and gets to attack again. So it's really bad to get.
Yep. And
It's basically a run killer.
yeah, it's almost impossible to win the fight because you have an entire turn of attacks with your candy will have been worn off, and you can't really replace that damage.
Yeah, the candy is worn off, and so is break.
Yep. All right, here we are. Probably the coolest area in the game. It's just got those good
And
vibes.
Speaking of break, remember to take it off and replace it with strong start.
Yes, thank you.
That is a very common mistake I do a lot.
Yep. I usually do it right after that fight, and I knew I had forgotten, so I was going to do it right away, but the reminder is also good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we are now at
My
Walmart.
favorite town theme.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to buy 2 squash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm out of inventory space, aren't I? Okay, I'll
Yep.
be back. Just a second. I should have just stored the other jade stew. I knew I didn't do that storage right, and I couldn't figure out how, but basically I'm gonna create a couple squash tarts, and then I'll go back and buy one more. Mega Rush.
You can use the 3 Mega Rushes on Coliseum, and then after Coliseum, return there, and then talk to them.
Yeah, I'll just buy it later, but I need to make sure I buy one more.
Yeah.
And this is the Termite King and Queen. King Hector the 4th, I would think it is. And Queen
so.
Lara the 2nd.
Yeah,
Actually, you know what?
it's the 4th.
I'm gonna buy... Let me double check my berries. I think I'm gonna buy 2 more. And just do the normal Coliseum strats rather than the...
Yeah, I think you can buy 2 more Mega Rush. You have 35, I'm pretty sure, from what I saw.
Yeah. As long as I have 30. Let's see. Yep, 35. Yep, I'm good. So we'll
Yep,
just do
you're
it that
fine.
way. Cool. I don't even have to do the potentially somewhat a little bit riskier strat in the first Coliseum fight. Oh, I went to the roof first. Oh well. I do that all the time.
You just want to avoid Best Chef, I know.
No, I don't. I
understand.
love Best Chef, although Best Chef got nerfed in the last update.
Sadly, he can't ascend to the heavens anymore.
All hail the microwave. Don't try this for Thanksgiving, by the way. If you're going to make a pumpkin pie, do not put a berry and a squash in the microwave together. I promise it will not work.
The microwave will not jump either.
No. If your microwave jumps, you should probably call the Ghostbusters.
Or lock it up somewhere.
Yeah.
And this is a satisfying dash movement here.
Oh, so close.
So
okay.
close.
I only missed the last little bit. It's all good. Beatdown time. Let's go. All right, so this is, by the way, we didn't really talk about what was going on. Danny, do you want to explain? You explain this part of the story better than anybody else, so I'm going to let you explain it.
All right. So basically, the reason why we came to the Termite Kingdom, which is an isolationist colony, is simply because we're no match for the Wasp King. He has all the artifacts now in his possession. We need help. And I'm pretty sure in this point of the story, Neolith, the one we saved back in Chapter 2, knows where the Everlasting Sapling is. And to get there, we need to cross, well, I would say the ocean, but a little kiddie pool, essentially.
More of a puddle, really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's a
in order to
puddle,
do that, we need the help of the termites, which is a technologically advanced society compared to the entire kingdom, well, the entire world of Bagaria.
Yep.
And right now we're just trying to prove our might, show that we mean business and that we can best anything in our way, because they don't actually believe us. And the reason is because the Ant Kingdom and the Termite Kingdom had a falling out. So ants are actually not allowed in here. And Queen Elizabeth II decided to break that in asking for help. And here are Cross and Poi, the guards we met after beating the Primal Weevil. They wanted to give a good showing, and we are, by just hurricane tossing and beating them up. Or tornado tossing, not hurricane tossing.
Yeah, we just obliterate them and with
Yeah.
What else is new?
Using
So
the
have
power of
we
energy drinks.
Yes. Have we explained what Mega Rush is yet?
No, go ahead.
I don't think we
I
have.
don't think so.
All right, so Mega Rush TM, I should say, it is trademarked. It's a sugary energy drink that gives you attack boost for 3 turns and gives you a one-time charge. So essentially, the first attack V or anyone does is going to be super powerful and obliterates any foe standing in our way. And we buy quite a lot of these because, honestly, they may be expensive, but we have so much money at this point in the game that we can just stock up on it, and we have enough to beat the entire rest of the game with our supply. And we're fighting Zasmoth again because, why not? They want to ruin the show.
Yep.
Yeah, basically our main source of item usage switches from being regular spicy candies or spicy berries then to becoming spicy candies because we need the poison. And now Mega Rush because not only do we get the charge and it lasts for 3 turns instead of just 2, but we also don't have to cook it, so that saves a little bit of time.
Yeah. They may cost 15, but if you never use these during your casual playthrough, you're missing out. Personally, with me, I missed out on this. I thought, okay, what am I going to do with these really expensive cans of soda? But I was missing out.
Indeed.
And Zaps actually has a chance to ruin this fight by taunting. If he taunts V, this fight is essentially, I don't want to say ruined, but very, very tricky to get around. Because he deals a lot of damage.
It is ruined if he taunts on V twice.
Yes.
Because then we wouldn't have the attack buffer poison from Mega Rush anymore.
And she would have a -1 effect. So you're better off just dying at that point.
That's the other reason why, specifically for the speedrun, Mega Rush is so good, is because the battles are so short that we basically don't have any instance where we have to worry about the downside of Mega Rush, which is that -1 that you get after the 3 turns. Because everything's already dead by then.
Yep. And again, this is why I love speedrun fan art. Just Team Snake Mouth hopped up on sugar of candy and soda.
Yep.
Just obliterating everything.
So great. Yeah, if any of you have played Hades 2, my favorite part of that scene is there's like the one contrarian termite that is always cheering for you when like the crowd is cheering for everybody else, and if you played Hades, you know exactly what fan I'm referring to when I say that kind of reminds me of that. So anyway, I'm gonna go back to the shop here really quick. Restock. Alright, I should be good on items for the rest of the run now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we proved our might to the termites, and now we're coming back after the results. And essentially during this cutscene, they say that, okay, we realize you mean business, and they give us access to the subaquatic maritime neo-transport. And I love saying that name. It's a submarine.
I'm not kidding you. In Danny's notes, it is like bolded and highlighted in red, and I never miss a chance to have Danny say I can't even say it. Subaquatic maritime
neo-transport.
Yep. By the way, we don't have to use the conveyor belt anymore because it doesn't actually speed you up if you're dashing. You just go at the exact same speed.
Yeah, in 1.0.5 when you didn't have dash, yeah, it would be faster. Actually, no, it wouldn't be faster. The only time it would be faster is going from the King and Queen's chambers all the way to this area. Otherwise, it's literally faster to just walk.
Yep.
So now we've really just gotten rid of the treadmill.
See, those termites may be technologically advanced, but Kabu's got zoomies.
Yeah.
Yep.
I kind of hope they buffed the treadmills, but they haven't. Now they're just infinitely useless.
Yep. Alright, and we just get another 100 berries for whatever.
Why not?
But I wanted to route those in so I didn't have to backtrack later. But anyway, we are off to the rubber prison.
Rubber prison.
I'm going to do this just because it's fun really quick. I mean, it's a submarine. We got to get a little bit of the submarine sound effects there just to prove that it's in fact a submarine.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't want to get ripped off.
That's essentially just a submarine version of Bubble Shield.
Nice. See, but if that's the case, how come we can't? We should just be able to like have Leif get us across the water.
I mean, technically you could, using a certain move we don't get in the run, and just infinitely using that to get across the water.
That's true.
I don't know how effective that would be, but it's possible.
All right, so I will just say really quickly, Rubber Prison, there's going to be a lot going on here in a really short period of time. I don't think anybody would say this is their favorite dungeon, but this is probably like the techiest dungeon in the entire run. There's just so much cool stuff that we do here.
It's definitely a speedrunner's paradise when you get the movement down.
Yep. It's so satisfying to do well. So basically, we're going to be collecting key. Oh, my fly did not engage there. That's fine. We're going to be collecting keys and books.
Yeah,
also, don't dash up this ramp. It doesn't work. I found that out the hard way the other day. It doesn't like the elevation changes for some reason.
And here we have more instances of fly jumps. This is basically what we use to kind of break everything for chapters 6 and 7 sequence-wise. Normally you need to dig under and grab the rock, which you can see is under us as of now. But instead, you can just fly jump up and just skip that entirely, and later on that rock will appear due to the sequence of the story, which is nice.
Yeah, thanks, Rock.
It's a good rock.
Yep. A lot of cycles, like this room is full of cycles. If you can hit them right, it's very, very nice too, so.
Yeah.
Oh, oof, that's the hardest one right there.
Oh, that was close.
Yep.
Hey, I forgot you do this room differently.
Yeah, I probably do. Everybody's got their things they do a little differently.
Everyone's got their quirks.
Oops, I
Important thing is that you make the cycle, so it's not a huge deal.
Yep.
Yeah. Now I will ask, well, since we're almost there in a couple of rooms, have you seen the new gym?
The new gym, I have not.
Okay, so basically, I don't know if you want to try this, but it's really free. You know the last mushroom that you jump on to get to the key?
Yeah.
You can go underneath it, so you can skip the first two mushroom jump pads. Just go straight to the back one, and then jump fly right underneath it, and you can get boosted back up.
I'm gonna not, but I'm curious about this.
I do recommend doing it.
Having not seen it, I'm a very visual person when it comes to this kind of stuff, so it's hard for me with everything else going on just to sort of envision what you're talking about, but I believe you.
True.
I believe
Yeah, that
you.
makes sense.
I'll definitely give you a clip later.
I think it's easier than doing the gym normally, but obviously if you don't...
It's not as
if you're not
fun.
comfortable with it, then definitely
come
don't.
here. I gotta get this guy's attention.
Normally in situations like these, I just go for a zero freeze.
There we go.
There we go.
Eventually, if you like switch characters enough, he will pay attention to you. I've noticed. It seems like, but it could just be my imagination. I need to flip that switch to change the gates in the room up here so that I can get to the next part. And then we'll change it one more time after this.
And speaking of gym, here it is.
Yep.
Who wants to work out? Apparently not me. So I'm doing these fly jumps here. If you're listening, I don't know how good the sound effects are on the stream, but you'll hear the jump sound and then you'll hear the fly sound, and that's how you kind of know I did it right. There's like 3 stages of fly jump as well. Do you kind of want to talk about? Oh gosh, I forgot that happens sometimes. It's fine.
So you run away. Fly jumping is very interesting. There's actually 4 different variations of the fly jump, going from worst to best. The worst one, you go super low to the ground, and the best you get really high. The way it is that the sooner you jump, as soon as the fly activates, the higher you go, meaning that it's actually better to jump sooner rather than later, because you have a chance of getting the best fly jump. For the most part, though, every single fly jump that we have to do in the run needs to be in the latter half, so it needs to be the top 2, which really isn't bad. That's roughly...
by the way, this is the new cursed room.
It's not that bad too much.
I hate this room.
But yeah, when it comes to fly jumping, 4 different ones. I think it's a 4 frame total.
No! Dang it, I was so close!
Restart the room.
I'm pretty sure that the second highest is a 2 frame, and it was the third highest that was a 4 frame. But I could be wrong.
I actually haven't done too much. I don't remember entirely everything.
Thing I know
that was
is
handy
that
anyway.
The highest fly jump possible is frame perfect, and there was one we used to have to do in the run, which thankfully we wrote it out.
Thanks
to a
J-Cog.
new trick. Discovered, yep. That trick was discovered, I want to say about almost 2 months ago, and it allows you to skip the frame perfect fly jump, which happens in chapter 7.
And the solution is just so simple.
Get stuck in a wall.
You went really high there.
Nice.
That's new in 1.1. That bridge used to just always be active when you got there.
I'm pretty sure they are changing that, or at least I know we're fighting for that for casual players, because it's a pretty bad change. There's so many people complaining about that on social media.
Okay.
Saying like, why isn't it working? And they've never turned on the power.
Well, the power is like hidden in this weird room. It's confusing.
Yeah.
But the funny thing was, like, we didn't think we could make that jump, and then we just kind of figured out that we could do it anyway.
Yeah,
I got it. The first time I tried it, I didn't even realize it was so hard, and I just got it off of a perfect fly jump. And then the next day, Calc was like, you can just stand on the railing, and it's basically free. I was like, cool.
Yeah. When I first tried it, I actually didn't know you could stand on the railing. But thanks to the railing, it becomes like 10 times easier. Yep. It still is a fair amount precise, but thankfully not nearly as bad as it was.
All right. This is probably the memeiest boss fight in the run, so everybody enjoy the tank.
It's the most out of place.
That was actually a pretty good prison, all things considered.
It was good.
Yeah, aside from that one encounter you had in gym, that was pretty good.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
Yeah, this fight's pretty standard from what we're doing. Mega Rush V, Hurricane Toss, Whip Break. We're basically dealing a ton of damage to him. I think, how much health does he have? 70?
Yeah,
something like
70.
that.
Yeah, the tank is 70.
Yeah, and we're able to melt that within 2 turns.
I do a slightly safer strat than a lot of people do, because there is a chance that the actual General Ultimax can kill V. And I like to avoid that. Oh, hold on. So I do something a little bit different here. Alright, so that's gonna do it for the tank, but then we still got the general.
You taunt.
I'm gonna taunt him with Kabu, because that way, because he will even if I perfect block, I think he'll kill V. So I'm basically just counting on him.
No, perfect blocks he'll do 0 if you perfect block.
Okay. Well, it's a really hard perfect block, so.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
But if he kills V, the fight takes like 3 turns longer, and honestly, at these health totals, there's actually a chance if I missed a block, he could kill me.
Yeah,
So
especially due to the rockets, the tank shoots. Those will come down and deal damage.
It's such a good attack, though.
Yeah, it's adorable.
His little arms, he's just flailing his little arms. But hey, Kabu's gonna get the kill now.
Go Kabu!
Go Kabu!
He's getting ready for the next battle.
Yes. Alright, this is the end of Chapter 6. We only have 1 chapter left to go. Gambit, do we have any donations or anything?
I do. I have 3 donations for you guys. I've got a $40 donation from Bursic with no message.
Thank you, Bursic.
I've got a $29 donation from Wechter saying matching lack of worm.
Yeah,
and
I gotta do that still.
And I've got a $25 donation from Muhammad X, who says, at the beginning of this marathon, my good friend Gambit017 donated while I was hosting. Now it's time to pay back that kindness.
Aw. Y'all are so great. So many good friends in this community. My first ever in-person speedrun was about 1.5 years ago at Midwest Speedfest 2019, and this was really like the first time I met everybody. I mean, honestly, I hadn't met anybody. I'm just gonna say it that way. In the Midwest Speedfest crew, and they're just such good people. So glad I've gotten to know them over this last 1.5 years or so.
And we are in the Deadlands, a very scary place. If you played the game before, you know how scary it could be on your first playthrough. If you haven't played this game before, this does not seem at all like what we just went through.
You're in for a treat if you haven't seen this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play this a little safe because I think I might have fallen a little bit there on that ledge. Yeah, it's actually fairly consistent. But yeah, this area is extremely scary when you're playing the game casually. But once you realize that you move faster than the enemies, and that's not even including the dashing, that's just like normally, it's pretty easy to dodge them.
I think they actually sped up the enemies.
They did.
1.1.
Okay.
Very
But
slightly.
we still are faster.
I've had that first one catch me a couple times, so that might explain it.
Yeah. It makes this next one pretty tough.
Hold on, I'm not getting this right. Wow.
Just fly.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't even trying to fly jump. I was literally just trying to fly.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, that's rude.
Yeah, I think that was probably due to the speed up.
I don't think it's gonna let me get this now. Nope, I gotta go back. I gotta reset the room. Anyway, I'll be right back. Oh wow, he actually followed me up
Those
there.
guys can
Yeah,
battle
he
great.
can follow you.
Yeah.
It's fun.
He usually gets stuck on the jump
I think
pad, which is
Terry
actually
was
really
very
funny.
enough.
Anyway, this will go better this time, I promise. There we go.
Nice.
Oh, that's better.
If you fall even in the slightest off those coins before doing the fly, you're not gonna make it up. It's super tight for some reason.
Oh shoot. Okay. For whatever reason, there's a certain fly jumps that just always like I think I
You don't
psyched
need a fly
myself
jump
out
here.
or something. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it helps though. Let's see. There we go.
And here we have the only instance of a red crystal in the game. And what this does is it heals you, but it does not
There we go.
save the game.
Lore-wise,
it
we have
attacks
no
the
idea what
eye.
it's for.
I think they just felt bad for people. Whoops.
Yeah, from the developer standpoint, yeah.
Yeah. It's a good farming spot though, if you're playing the game
It is.
casually before you ascend to the final area here.
This is the one time where Mackie is in a fight and actually deals damage.
Yep.
And actually, even though it's only one instance of it, it is really good that he does, or else this fight would be really scary.
This fight still can get a little bit dicey. I'm gonna need to focus here and make sure I get these
Yeah,
under
that's also
strikes.
true.
Okay, I have to
Nice.
hit these two get front guys. There we go.
Nice.
Perfect.
The guy in the middle, especially, all of these guys are really dangerous, but the one in the middle, which just died there, can do a lot of damage.
Okay, got the. Oh, I thought I got the blocks there. It doesn't matter, but the most
Maki,
important
save
thing
us.
is I needed him to not sleep Kabu. So
The other good thing about this fight is even if Kabu did end up falling asleep there, which happens if you don't block that attack,
Yep.
you still have Maki, so it might be a little slower, but because of Maki, you're not really out of it. You'll still end up slowly but surely killing him.
I tried. I wasn't sure if Heavy Strike plus Maki was going to be enough to kill him there. So anyway, there he goes.
Nah, you
No,
just kill him
sadly
now.
not. It's routed pretty precisely how much damage we deal on that last guy.
This is also going to be our. Well, no, we are going to get one more level up. I take that back.
Yeah, that's true. This is the final level up we actually care about.
I need that. I need that extra hit point for the Seedling King, though. No, I'm kidding. All right, it's time for the fridge. Let's see here.
Can I stick a donation in while you're menuing?
Absolutely.
I've got $25 from Ceaselessly, who says, "This is such a fun marathon. Thanks to all those who ran things both in front and behind the camera. Can't wait for the next event."
Thanks, y'all. Can we get like a donation train, like a quick $5 donation train going to finish this up? Because there's not a lot of this run left. That would be really cool if we could do that. If you got anything to spare, now is the time.
I mean, this run is full of punnable moments, and no one is sending any puns whatsoever. So now's the time, guys. You want to get your pun read? Send it in.
Oh god, I almost fell off. Ice is slippery, y'all.
Perfect.
That was actually pretty good for me. For
that was
whatever
really
reason,
nice. See if
whatever reason, I
there's
also have trouble with
levels
this
we
room,
get.
but we won't talk about that.
Yeah, out of all, there are 3 floors of the fridge, and out of them all,
There we go.
the second floor is definitely the hardest, but the other 2 can also lose you a bunch of time.
Yeah. I think it goes without saying that is not how you're supposed to do those puzzles. Also,
I like to
Oh,
think
yeah.
it's open-ended.
I mean, all of those, for all those floors, we make use of fly jumps.
Yep. I used to do a slightly safer strat on the second floor of the fridge, but then I realized I think with 1.1 they actually made it easier to get up on those ice blocks. The ones on the far end, like that you start jumping onto on the second part of the fridge. Because I swear I can get up there easier now.
Maybe you're just getting better.
It could be. It's entirely possible.
I mean, I know they did change some of the hitboxes for them, but they may have made that one easier, which is nice.
Yeah.
I think beforehand you had a 2-frame window of nailing that fly jump.
Yeah.
Which with practice isn't horrible, but it still is.
Yep.
It still isn't that easy.
Just really quick, I want to do we're in a cutscene here. After this, I'm going to do a little bit of shopping. There is a weird menu on the shop. If you are sensitive to visual effects, you might want to look away for just about the next minute or so. And actually, Gambit, if you have any donations, now would be a good time also.
I do have a $6 one from Silver Moonlight that just came in. It says, here's $6 to train. Thanks to everyone involved for making this event possible. I could not be more excited for the next event.
Hey. All right, that's scary. The bad for your eyes part is over, by the way.
Yeah, for some reason that shop has a bug where sometimes you can be in the spot where you overlap 2 hitboxes, I guess, where you're able to buy 2 things.
Yeah.
But only one of them can be bought, so it kind of just switches between the 2. That's something that I imagine will 100% be fixed.
Yeah, they'll get it
yes,
fixed.
totally.
They'll get it fixed. All right. Fire monsters. Guess what? They're gonna. Oh, I missed that back one somehow. Okay, they're weak to ice. It's fine.
Well, I guess we have Mackie.
That's true.
Good thing Maki's here.
Yeah, Mackie will do enough.
Thanks, Maki.
Thank you for the free 6 damage.
All right. So that was so Kabu's shining moment was the Deadlanders fight. That was Leif's shining moment as we head to the end here, and we only have 2 fights left.
And for these fights, we equip every medal we've collected the whole game except for hard mode.
All right, cool little trick here. I'm going to wedge myself in between these 2 rocks, and that's going to give me the extra height I need to get up onto this. And then I just have one more fly jump. There we go. This should be fine. Oh yeah, that was like a really good one.
Wonderful.
Whoops. I'm actually like, I got up there too early. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, that one trick back there was the one that skipped. The one with the rock, that one's the one that skipped the frame perfect fly jump. And this is the final iteration of the Curse Room series.
This is the final exam of ice block puzzles.
Oh yeah.
It's not too bad though when you get the pattern down. But casually, it's a pain.
Just imagine being on like a PB or world record place and having to like make a series of precise ice block bonks. It's not a fun time.
The nerves
are
there.
real. I think I got a good setup here. I just have one more scary one. Okay, we should be fine now.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep, okay.
There we go. And we just basically skip this puzzle by doing it the completely unintentional way of just jumping on the switch we're supposed to be meringue and then just flying past.
Nice. By the way, I would recommend not dashing here, because I actually dashed off of those rocks in a practice run yesterday, and I had to fly jump back to the switches. It was very awkward. I also almost yeeted my characters off of the stove, but alas.
That's a goal of every run now.
Yeah. But anyway, we have arrived at the final boss fight, and I'm gonna let my fantastic commentators who have basically routed this whole thing kind of talk through it while I focus on not losing.
We have faith in you.
Thank you. It's so easy now, though. I actually feel a little bit bad about that.
Yeah, at least the second phases. The first,
Yeah.
the first Wasp King phase remained unchanged.
Yep.
And looking the everlasting sapling.
Yep, finally, we have arrived. Also, Gambit, if you get more donations, just go ahead and cut in anytime.
Will do.
It's now or never, y'all. Let's get 3,500.
All right. Wasp King. The final boss. Well, almost. What we do here is very simple. Same thing as always. This fight's pretty straightforward for the first phase. Hop up V on some energy drinks and poison, and go to town on him. There's not too much to worry about during this phase, except during his attack, he can have an option to heal himself using spicy fries or burly chips, which can be a little bit of a pain, but depending on if he hits V or not, it's not that bad. Yeah, right there. Perfect. Had no problems whatsoever, so this fight's gonna end very soon.
And even if V does die here, Wasp King will only have 2 HP at the end of this, so Kabu or Leaf can finish him off, thankfully.
Yep.
Unless
This
he
fight-
heals and kills V, which is unlikely, but even then it's not horrible thanks to Magic Seed.
Yep. All you have to do is just revive V, then hit him twice with the basic.
Yep.
But that is not
We
gonna
don't have to worry
happen.
about that, nice.
Yep, and one fill attack to end him.
Just to rub
And
it in.
phase 1 is done.
Yep.
Alright, Calc, I'll let you take over the technical parts of phase 2. Also known as the actual
Alrighty.
final boss.
Yes. So this is the Everlasting King, and basically this boss is broken up into 3 parts with 3 different phases in him. So the first phase will last for a total of 2 turns ideally, and then the second phase will last for 1 turn, and then the final phase will last for another turn. So ideally this is a 4-turn fight. It used to be that it was a 7-turn fight, but because there was a nerf that happened for the 1.1 update, it kind of made it easier, which in a way is kind of sad, but it makes this fight way faster in a speedrun.
Yep.
So pretty much, we're gonna take full advantage of the piercing glitch with dropping the defense down and piercing it to do 1 extra damage. So we're gonna use the squash tart, which is an item we cooked back in chapter 6. So it'll give us 3 turns of poison, and it gives us TP regeneration. So basically what this is every turn you will regain 2 TP for 3 turns. So it's really useful. And so basically Everlasting King has 2 different type forms of which he can attack with. If he's in the air, he has a certain list of attacks, and if he's on the ground, he has another different list of attacks. Ideally, we want him on the ground, because those attacks are generally easier to block. Also, we avoid him from needing to summon an artifact, which will happen later on, scripted for the start of phase 3.
The other thing that we take advantage of in this, just to quickly mention, I know we talked about stacking food effects. We can also stack break effects.
Yeah, so now he'll have the defense down the whole time, which is really nice. Now we're gonna do 2 quick, I think it's 2 quick hurricanes. I don't actually have the red up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hurricane. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was hurricane and tornado.
This is actually
And
fine because
now-
I'm going to bubble shield V here. And the
Yeah.
scary thing is actually if he kills somebody else.
Yeah, he basically, I did the math, he has an 11% chance to completely crush your dreams on this fight, pretty much.
Yeah.
So he's going to summon 2 artifacts, and these are the reason we wanted him grounded those past few turns, is so that way he can't do it. Also, nice. That's a really good attack.
Yep.
He is able to do an attack where he can deal 10 damage to any one ally, and that has a 7 out of 24% chance of happening. And if it attacks V or Leaf, if it attacks Kabu or Leaf, you're basically dead. You're gonna need to use Magic Seed, and it's really scary. But thankfully that is not the case, and we are barely able to kill him.
Oof,
And
alright.
that's the fight.
Yep.
You did a wonderful job explaining everything.
Yes.
And
Agreed.
level up.
This is not GG's yet, though. I will
Basically,
call out time. We have to do
perfect
a. I refer to this as the Star Wars style celebration after blowing up the Death Star. So we're coming up on time, though. We just got about another 2 minutes or so. If you want to throw out some GG's now, I'm not going to say no. I don't have to do anything other than like dash through 2 more screens. So, but yeah, seriously.
It was a solid run overall.
This went great. I mean, here's the thing with the dash. The dash is still so new. We're all still getting used to it, and I did not do the greatest with the dash, but a lot of that is also just, you know, marathon nerves and, you know, just trying to just talk about the game and just appreciate everything that's going on right now in the midst of all of this. And that happens, but all the boss fights went really, really well, even the ones that almost went sideways on me, so... I can't complain,
definitely.
and had a really good time with my 2 friends, Danny and Calc here. And Gambit. Gambit is also a dear friend. I'm not gonna leave Gambit out. So.
Well, while we go through cutscenes, you mind if I toss a couple donations up?
Please do.
I've got $10 from I Am Newt saying, "Hey all, just want to say thank you for another amazing marathon. So grateful for the generosity of those who donated and supported volunteers and runners. You all make running these events an absolute treat. Love, Newt." And I also have $115 from Muhammad X saying, "Ask and you shall receive."
Oh my gosh, Bahamut, thank you so much for that. Hey, we got 3,500. I got to chip in my 29 still. We still got my 2 bonuses as well, so we probably got another 10 or 15 minutes here, which is great because I'm pretty underestimate. I'm gonna let everybody enjoy just kind of like the victory fanfare and stuff for a minute here. Seeing all our friends. And time's gonna be coming up. I'll call it. It's gonna be in about 30 seconds or so.
And don't forget to stick around, guys, because we still have 2 little bonuses that we got after the run is over that you guys donated for, the Termite Arcade and the Seedling King.
Yeah, just some fun stuff. This was the last run of the marathon. I wanted to figure out a couple cool things that I could do to just show off a little bit more of this awesome game. So. And that is time. All right. Great run. I'll take a low 250s run in a marathon any day of the week. That was fantastic.
That's not
Yeah,
bad
that
at
was
all.
really good.
Yeah. Just the boss fights are so good now. And everything else went fine. All the you know, just a couple running into too many guys. Hey, I got the Swampland Skip now. That's a thing, so that helped too for sure. So
Yeah, that is true.
yeah, well, let's GG's
Glad
on the
we were
run,
able to
GG's
throw
on the
that out.
marathon, everybody. We got a little bit more here, but like everybody that has been helping out or viewing or watching or donating, this is your time for, you know, to just sort of reflect and, you know, take it all in for a second. And we did a really good thing this weekend, so good job, everybody. All right, I'm headed to the Termite Arcade. How am I doing on money? Ooh, I don't have a lot of money. Wait, let me check something really quick. Okay, I'll make this work. It'll be fine. I just have to, like, not fail. Well, no, I can't. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, they're 3 each. Okay, so what I'm gonna try to do here, I'm gonna show you, there's these 2 high scores. If I beat both high scores, I get an incentive called Gamer. And I don't know about all of you, but I really want to be a gamer, so we're going to give that a try. I have to play Flower Journey first. Flower Journey has more RNG than the other one. I would prefer to play the other one first because it's really easy to get a lot of tokens doing that. If for some reason I fail this, I will probably... I'll figure it out. Let's not worry about it. I'm just going to play... I'm just going to be a bee and do bee things, and it'll all be fine.
This is a time where in chat, if you have the Pride Bee emotes, let's start spamming them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Send Flappy Bee your energy. Ah, shoot. He was
Yeah,
he was low
that
on
guy
me. That
in a
was
horrible
scary.
spot. Wow.
All right, let's see if I get enough to do it again. Okay, I can do it one more time. If I get a good run, it'll give me enough tokens to play Might Knight, so let's do it again. Go, Flappy Bee, go! Beehaw! That's what my shirt says, by the way, if y'all can't see it. I know my mic's in the way. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That was a choke. Okay. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna load my other save. I'm gonna load my other post-game save. I saved after that, so I can come back. We'll do the Seedling King after, but I want to show y'all Might Knight. Might Knight's pretty cool. Feel bad for Flappy Bee though. That was a sad performance on my part. I'm sorry. We'll see how Might Knight goes. Let's see if I can gamer up this Might Knight game. Alright, so yeah, there's a lot going on here. I think Danny, you know a fair amount about Might Knight. I'm gonna let you kind of take it over.
So, Might Knight, you may notice he's spamming the shield quite a lot. What he's doing essentially is hitting the enemy while also blocking himself from hits. The way the scoring is laid out and how the game is laid out is that your Might Knight, you go into a randomly generated floor with a set amount of enemies and a key. Your job, in order to get the most points and become a gamer, is to kill every enemy on the floor, get the key, and get out with as much life as possible. The way the game is actually calculated, and it's simply that as long as you kill every single enemy on the floor and you have every health, it doesn't matter if you have like a couple of seconds left on the time. Time means very little in Might Knight.
Yep.
But in order to get the best time and the best, well, yeah, if you get the best time, that's good. But that also means you probably didn't kill as many enemies and you get penalized. The game does a poor job of explaining the rules of Might Knight. They tell you to go as fast as you can, when in reality, that's not really as true. You can go fast, but the thing that matters the most is full health and enemies killed.
Yeah, I did skip one enemy on the first floor. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. I know I know roughly how many enemies are on each floor. It's the same every time. So as long as I get close, it should be fine. Oh, hi.
Yeah, and I will mention the two types of enemies in this game you'll find, which are the zombie ants, which you find in actually Chapter 1. They just kind of bump into you. They're kind of your basic fodder enemy. And you have the wizards, which is actually an NPC in the game that we never saw. But in Might Knight, he shoots fireballs at you, or some kind of projectile, and it damages you from afar. But it's fairly easy to dodge.
I feel like there's one or two more, but I'm just going to go to the exit if I see it. Because I have full health, and full health is really important in this for the scoring. So if I see him on the way there, I guess I'll fight him. Hope I'm not turned around. Nope, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't miss a single enemy, actually.
I think I missed one enemy on each of the first two floors, so I think that's acceptable as long as I ended full health, which so far is looking okay, not to jinx it. I'm trying to like strafe as much as possible too. It's really it's pretty tricky unless you practice a lot.
And just
There's
like the main game,
optimized Might Knight going on out there. Although I have to give a shout out to Aldolaro, who has been super helpful. As soon as I offered this donation incentive, I was like, I'm gonna do this. I have no idea how to play Might Knight. Can somebody help? And Ald was very helpful.
Yeah, Ald's crazy. He has the world record of, let's see, it's 12,519. I actually, as far as I know, I have the second highest score of Might Knight. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it's very, very close to his.
I'm worried I'm turned around here. I think I am. I think it's in the
I don't
opposite
think you
corner.
are.
You don't think I am? Okay, well, we'll just go all the way around.
Yeah, 5420. I think that's the right amount.
Oh no, I'm like literally lost.
Oh, yeah, the exit's in the other corner.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take the long way around here. It should be okay. If not, it's fine still anyway.
As long as you don't get hit, you're a gamer.
I'm half a gamer.
You're almost a gamer.
I'm a game. Let's go. High score. Oh yeah, we got it. All right.
Just barely.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, and I got 69 tokens. Nice. All right. I think, you know what? That Flappy Bee was like... I'm going to try Flappy Bee one more time, because I want to be a gamer for y'all. If I don't get it this time, it's fine, but we're going to give it one more. Because those first two Flappy Bees barely even registered on the Flappy Bee chart. And I believe in us. And y'all need another excuse to spam those Pride Bee emotes, let's be honest.
And so far, they're spamming nice.
Nice works too, yep. So, well, that's what happens when you get 69 tokens. Everybody just in the entire Termite arcade turns around and goes, nice. Yeah, Flappy Bee's a lot harder than a Might Knight, obviously. I have one button. It is the boinging button.
I will say a fun fact about this game. This was not actually made for Bug Fables. It was kind of a side project for one of the devs, and he decided just to put it into the game.
I love that.
Yeah, so it's not exactly just a thing they made for Bug Fables. That's just, you know, a Flappy Bee clone, or Flappy Bird clone. It's just something that they made on the side for fun, and they decided to add to the game.
Just adds so much, like, character to the game, though.
Yeah, it's just fun little side content.
Yep. Alright, that's a much better spot for that guy. Oh, and I still screwed it up. Okay, I should have had that. I was being way too safe. Alright. Anyway, that is the Termite Arcade. You can check that out for yourself anytime after Chapter 6 if you're doing a casual playthrough of this game. And let's go beat up the Seedling King and his big old mustache and bring it on home here. I don't have a script for this fight, by the way. It's going to be just, like, completely random, so... But it'll be fun. We're going to have a good time. Oh, I need to get the quest, though. Hold on.
No, you don't.
I don't?
Nope, he's already active. The only reason you want to get the quest is for the reward.
Ah, well, I don't need the reward. The reward is we're going to do awesome gamer things. Oh, God. Like running into the save crystal a bazillion times. Okay, here we go. So the Seedling King is actually over here where we first went, but if you fly over here, there is a secret area. And here he is. I think he kind of looks like Gooby. I don't know what y'all think, Midwest Speedfest. Maybe a little bit. Gooby's mustache isn't that big. Alright, I totally just forgot what I was going to do because I was all distracted by saying that he looked kind of like Gooby. So, alright. Let's do a Squash Tart. We're gonna wing this. It'll be fun. Let's do a Squash Tart. Let's do Break.
I don't even know if he has defense.
Yeah, I don't think he does.
Oh,
To the wiki!
this is a highly researched, highly researched,
Yeah, I don't think he does.
I actually did look at the wiki, though, because I know that he technically has flying right now. So he's gonna spawn some friends.
He has no defense.
He has no defense. Okay. Ow. Well, and apparently I can't block, because that's a thing. But okay, I've got Jade Stew, so it's fine. That's why I got that other Jade Stew earlier. Let's do that again. I think that worked pretty well. I think we'll let Kabu have a crack at him next turn. Or maybe once the Squash Tart wears off. I think he's got 90 hit points. I remember
He has 74. Hard mode is 90.
Oh, okay. I should have done hard mode Seedling King. That would have been more fun. You know what? Here.
I feel like you would die real quick.
Here. We're gonna do this just because I'm feeling fun. We're having a good time. And I love me some Kabu.
Quick way to get rid of the seedlings.
Yep. And he's gone too. All right, we did it. That is the Seedling King. This is one of 5 optional, well, 5, and then there's like a mega optional super boss that you do for 100% in this game. So there we go, everybody. I think that's gonna do it for us. That is Bug Fables. Any percent glitchless with the fun stuff that y'all donated for. Danny, Calc, thank you so much for being here for this run. Thank you everybody for watching. Gambit, thank you for hosting. And I'm gonna go ahead and, I don't know who we're turning it over to start the finale, but I got a donation to make, and I'm sure y'all have a lot of stuff you want to say and thank yous that you want to give out. So thank you again, everybody, for having me. I stream 4 or 5 days a week on my own channel, twitch.tv/Moonblazewolf. I do speedruns, I do randomizers, I do all sorts of stuff. So feel free to give me a follow and check me out. Danny, Calc, Gambit, anything y'all want to plug before we head on out here?
I want to plug the speedrunning community. If you guys want to play this game casually, you can on Steam, Switch, all the consoles. If you played this game before and you're interested in speedrunning the game, we have a Discord link at the speedrun.com page. If you look for the Discord link, you can join us and talk with us. We're very active. We're routing any percent and glitchless right now. There's going to be major improvements to the run. What you saw here, as I said before, this is the 2.0 version of the route. And so far working on a 2.1 version, which is vastly different. It stays over a minute, and it's overall just a lot of fun. So if you want to join us, you can. I highly recommend it.
I'm distracting everyone. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Calc.
Yeah, I'd probably just say join the Discord if you want. Like, it's a lot of fun. Even if you aren't into speedrunning, it's just a really fun place to hang out. So I do highly recommend joining it.
I want to say thank you, Moonblazewolf, for showing off this wonderful game. It is always a beauty to watch. This is the second time I've had the pleasure of hosting this particular run, so I was very happy to be here. Danny, Calc, thank you for joining him on the couch. I think, are going to toss it to a quick intermission where the organizers are going to have some final finale stuff for you guys. I've been Gamer017. Thank you for letting me be your host for the final run of this game, and we'll be back very quickly with the finale.
Thanks, everybody.
See ya.